bit too hot.
Oh.
I have never burned my lips.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Anyway.
Hello. How is everybody? We're here playing some Zelda.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's been 84 years.
It hasn't.
Today's session is brought to you by Yona, Sidon's fishwife.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yona's a big
Everyone
cutie.
should have a
His
fishwife.
one and only life partner.
No.
The only one he loves because he is monogamous.
No. No.
Get the
I'm
fucking
down.
fanfiction out of here.
I am down with the Yona love. Yona is a cutie. Yona is an absolute babe. We stan Yona. We also want to kiss them both. Anyway.
I have decided to steal Yona and Muzu.
I have decided that I have
And
found,
Muzu.
And
I have found
Muzu.
the princess.
Emerald
can
is
change
taking
him.
Muzu. I can change it.
I can fix him.
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up.
I read a manga recently where almost the entire premise was I can fix him.
Oh god.
That
And-
just sounds like a bad time.
Well, the him
Sure
the him was the main character. The main character was very depressed and like very like sad, and like so was the girl for like a little bit, and then like halfway through the show or halfway through the manga, like some of her problems got kind of dealt with, and she was like, you know, going full on like trying to help him like get away from like all these people who were like being really crazy with him. And like I just started looking at the comments, and every single one of them were just like, he or she can fix him, she can fix him. And then like near the very end, it's just like, guys, she fixed him. And there was a happy ending. It was cute. It was a cute manga actually.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
If it wasn't for those comments obviously being memes, I would feel a little bit weirder about it. But it was a good manga. It was good. Maybe I'll tell you guys the actual name of it if I remember it. Let's go. We're gonna be jumping in to the room. Hiya! And as we're jumping in here to the room with only a couple of things being changed, we are gonna roll this here D4. And when I roll this here D4, 4 will be Emerald, 3 will be Squeaky, 2 will be Anthony, and 1 will be Eric. 3 is also Fomal, but Fomal isn't here, so we'll have to just get on them if it gets to a 3. It was a 2. Squeaky, what happened last time?
There was a big fight because as a prelude before the big fight. So we got all together in the nice big table for Ivori's birthday bash spectacular because she just didn't want to tell us it was her birthday. That's just really what it was.
Do you think they all figured it out?
They can't. Not just because she's nervous about letting people know about her birthday. She doesn't want anybody to guess her age. So.
God damn.
So as we all gathered around the long table to eat our cake, and she was like, all right, I'm about to do the thing so we can figure out what the fuck's up with this cake, but now I'm having a stroke.
Oh.
And it turns out that the reason she's having a stroke is because that's the curse. The person who ordered the cake has a stroke. And it was like, who didn't eat the cake? And then Forrest starts laughing maniacally as behind his back was his piece of cake. Untouched, unspoiled.
Judas.
And he was like, I'm gonna toss it into the expanse. But honestly, when you really think about it, that would have probably solved the problem because then the beast at the bottom of the depths would have probably eaten the cake, thus freeing Ivori but from her stroke. But don't tell him that. He probably didn't think that far ahead. Anywho, as he pulled out the token of the Shadow Temple, I think it was, and started doing his voodoo magic, and everybody started having a stroke. At least everybody that was magically inclined. So Obra went down. And Magic Frog almost went down, and Ron was like, oh, now it's fucking personal, buddy. But just before...
You can hurt my girlfriend, you can't hurt my frog.
That's what it was, for sure.
And not the exact opposite.
But just before Magic Frog gave his last conscious breath, because he wasn't gonna die, not in this game, he did some shit to try to rescue that piece of cake. And Forrest was like, I was actually a Sheikah this whole time.
Whoa.
And reveals his Sheikah disguise. And it turns out that, you know, maybe that potion of disguise that Pan offers, maybe it's just, it makes you a green-haired brunette potion, because that's what it does. That's what it does. But
Green-haired.
a fight. Green-eyed, black-haired, brunette. Yeah. I said green-eyed. Sorry, my words. Anyhow, so as he's laughing maniacally, and he decides to cast Foresight onto the team, which according to the Pokemon Wiki, the move Foresight, at least according to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, this page isn't telling me. Hold on. What do you mean?
I appreciate that you did not have this prepared.
I didn't. If the user's accuracy stat stage is less than the target's evasion, both stat stages are okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. He used Foresight.
Legit ghost.
And he was like, I can now predict your move, I guess, I think. And Ronan and Polo were like, oh shit, we need to think of the last thing we would do. So Polo jumped off a bridge. This one specifically that we were all standing on, and decided that this was now a fate campaign with the command seals she doesn't have, and decided to make to use her beast tamer ability to make a contract with the creature of the abyss. And then she fell, and we didn't hear from her again for a little bit. And then Rudan was like, "This is my chance. This is all I was waiting for. This is what I was meant to do. This is why I pulled this sword from this rock. I'm going to skip and flip and dip and throw and chop a man's whole arm off because I fucking nat 20. This man will never forget this.
It's like
this
a
was not
sword, but for arms.
It was this arm. This arm's gone.
It's gone. And as freaking everything starts going on, and everyone's freaking losing their shit, and we're having battle no jutsu, freaking I think they find a way to escape. I don't know how they escaped, but they escaped. I don't think he fell down the expanse. I think he was going to try to, but at some point Jason decided to activate Zelda, to activate Jason in defense mode, to activate Matilda in attack mode position, thereby sending all cards to the graveyard, because it turns out they're all the same person except -1 Zelda. Jason and Matilda are in fact the same person because timey-wimey voodoo bullshit. And then from the ground or the expanse came that giant ice centipede, and Jason and Jason, Matilda, the princess, the entire time I was fucking right. Was like, goodbye everybody, I must go do what I have to do. I'll see y'all when you decide to learn how to fix this problem. Bye-bye. And then they left and they were gone, and we were like, god damn it. And Gorthos was like, we were trying to prevent that from happening.
Yep.
The expanse is gone.
And the expanse is gone.
No.
Yeah,
just a big hole.
gone.
And that's more or less
There it is.
what I remember.
Let's go.
Without
Also,
having watched the
Gorthos almost
session.
died.
He did almost die because he fell down the expanse.
Yeah,
but
there were a couple
abyss.
of things. There were a couple of other things that went down, but that is essentially everything that went down. While they were on the bridge, Ronan had learned that this person was using some kind of skill, maybe from the medallion or maybe not, to attempt to charm people or stop them from hitting him. So he had to hit him with like one good attack per time, otherwise they would go to sleep or lose their memories or something. So they were having Dawn attack them before they ended up falling off, and both Magic Frog and Dawn giving up parts of their vitality to protect Ronan. Gorthos had got brought back in his Donu body over by where Marco apparently was. Marco was fighting on pure instinct at the moment, so whenever he went to go and fight them, he couldn't be put to sleep for the first little bit until he was.
Until, you know.
Adam showed up at some point to fight with some stuff because the sword that had been thrown by Radon fell beside him, and he's like, oh, I should probably go help with that or fix that. And the only other large thing was the reason that everything had gone down in the first place. Whenever the individual had used their thing, the one currently known as Forrest, used the medallion, they were about to try to erase everything from the princess and from the hero and from everybody around. However, Polo had used an arrow of light to strike the shadow medallion and cause that effect to burst outward, striking everyone, erasing memories, destroying minds, including his own, making him lose all of the spells he had been accumulating and getting this entire time, at least from what we understand to our knowledge. But whenever Gorthos had asked for aid from the mortal goddess had said, "Oh, I guess it's time." At which point, Jason got a sort of different look upon their face, as if they understood everything. They stood up. They were able to not only knock the princess into the expanse, but also attempt to stop the others from losing their minds due to the curse. And Forrest did in fact escape by running off into the expanse.
Yeah.
Before the expanse got all destroyed and decombobulated.
Discombobulate.
That being said, you guys do know potentially where that fight ended up, because when Jason jumped in with the large centipede monster, you guys remember seeing that inside of a large bit of crystal or ice in front of one of the demon areas down below. You guys know that as soon as you figure out a way to get into that, that you could potentially go and free them. That being said, it may be a little bit harder than just melting the ice, if that is indeed ice. Who knows? But currently, everybody was reeling back from all the different things going on. As Polo would have landed, a little tendril guy, and by little I mean large, tendril little guy would be with them currently. They don't have a name; they're just a big tendril of some kind of a strange ethereal cloth. Right now, we're using the tentacle of a displacer beast for the current time. We may change that in the future. I couldn't find an actual tendril that I liked that actually had the transparency effect I wanted. Whatever. But yes, you guys were also able to capture one of the Sheikah who were here, which may or may not be a decently good thing. We'll have to see how things go with that. All that being said,
interrogating those guys has always gotten us places.
Yeah, but this one isn't actually knocked out. This one has been scared into submission.
By a marker with the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like, oh,
Right now,
that's bad. Oh yeah, Marco has the Master Sword.
Yeah, Marco has the Master Sword and his sword in like a cross, in like a scissory sort of thing around this guy's neck. So you know.
And the Ocarina of Time was also left behind here.
Yep.
Which again is very odd, because if we are assuming that all the Jasons are connected and this was supposed to be something that was always supposed to happen, you guys have heard stories of Jason's first few memories, which you now believe to be Matilda, where they had the Ocarina of Time. It was given to them by their father, apparently. But yet, the Ocarina of Time is right here, showing that while time shenanigans are fun and amazing in Zelda, they also make no sense in Zelda.
I guess I gotta go back in time and give her a fucking ocarina.
Close the loop now. There's no closed loops. There's no like easy time travel in the Legend of Zelda.
We already had the loop. It doesn't need to be
That's
closed
why there's
correctly.
that's why there's 3 timelines that just go into one timeline at the end for no reason.
That's how timelines work.
Yeah,
Nintendo really did not like their timeline when after they made it.
You know, this is why I like Legacy of Kain's time travel bullshit, because it doesn't matter. It's all fucking cyclical.
this is why I
It
like
always
time
ends up
splitters,
back at start.
time technology. They just don't care.
I like. It's basically Doctor Who. It's like, how does that make sense? Timey-wimey, shut up. Like,
As
I
you
can tell
guys,
exactly how. Check your fucking mouth.
as you guys would all be reeling back from everything that just happened, some of you were still somewhat knocked out. Argo and Rova are currently still out of it. You do see that Ivori is somewhat at least awake, having seen the end of that whole transgression. Obera also woke up, which is why Ronan has gone over to them. You do notice that Pika is also in the room. They are still awake somewhat, from what you can tell. Rudon is down. There is a frog on them and a atom near them, because they currently, they used up all their strength to do what they did, and unfortunately they were being protected by the large centipede by Adam, but that does mean the large centipede was trying to get them for some reason or another. Yeah, a lot of questions still remain. I'd like to know, as everybody is standing here, as everybody has gotten a couple of minutes to stare at the expanse as it seemed to disappear into itself, the minute or so that you guys would have needed to catch your breath and sort of try to understand everything in your heads, all of you sort of snap back. What is on your minds now?
Gonna go help Radon.
Ronan, you would rush yourself over to Radon and Adam, as Obra would also be following with you. Radon seems to be currently in Adam's arms. Adam has dropped the diamond spear, and they seem to be sleeping. They don't seem to be having too much problems. They don't seem to have too many injuries. However, there is a rather large, seemingly bump or red mark, a deeper red mark than is usual on the top of her head, from when she was attacked by the centipede. However, she is currently breathing and seemingly awake. Not awake, seemingly okay.
Okay.
At this point, Marco, Polo, Gorthos, do you guys want to do anything?
You said that all these peeps over here are unconscious?
Yeah, the ones over there have still not woken up from what had happened with them. They apparently were being mostly used as hostages by Forrest whenever they were trying to talk to Gorthos and Marco. Marco not hearing any of it because Marco was currently non-responsive and acting on pure instinct.
Hey.
But Marco is currently fine.
I was gonna say Ultra Instinct Marco.
Ultra Instinct Marco is over.
Okay.
No.
And then there's this Yiga here. Like,
yep.
this Yiga is
he
here.
Is currently being subdued by Marco, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Currently subdued by Marco.
He is awake. He is got a master sword pointed at him.
Okie dokie. I'm just thinking in my head, what would she be doing right now that like everything's kind of snapped back? And there, well, we know it's not actually this tendril, but we've got tendril, right?
Yep, it is currently in your shadow, seemingly following you around.
Alrighty, we're gonna make our way towards the Yiga that's being bound and seeing if she can use Shadow Tentabuddy to maybe help subdue that.
One thing you will notice upon going over toward the Sheikah and looking at them, both of you would notice this. The red marking on the Sheikah's mask seems to be gray at the moment.
You don't know what it means when it's gray.
Yeah, it is completely grayed out.
Huh.
I'm guessing for you right now, Gorthos, you're still trying to figure everything out for a moment?
I think he's just going to start walking around towards Ivori.
Okay. With you making your way to
still
Ivori,
holding the ocarina. I don't remember if he has it.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Okay.
With you making your way to Ivori, with these two over here to Sheikah, and with you over by Radon, let's start off first with Ronan. Ronan, you make your way to Radon. You note that there is a frog near Radon, seemingly just like onto them. You understand the understanding with these frogs. These frogs are wise beyond their years. They understand more than people let on. It seems to be
her, mini frog.
Yeah, mini frog's protecting her as well as he can. She's looking like she's fine, though she might need a small bit of healing.
Yeah, I can start with that.
I should have been quicker.
You did just fine. If it weren't for you, things would have been a lot worse. Try not to beat yourself up.
I could do nothing to that creature. Nothing that I attempted even made a scratch along it. I don't know what it was made up of, but that stone was seemingly impervious, despite being magical. I don't know what I could have done.
I don't know what any of us could have done. and he will begin playing his violin. He'll play the Song of Healing and try to give her like a D6.
You can definitely do that. The Song of Healing would be available to anybody in the area as you would go to play it. I believe there is a number of people you can use the song, correct? Or is it just everybody who hears it?
Let me look.
Song of Healing.
I think it's just anyone who can hear it.
Everyone need to play the song. Yep, 1d6 HP. We will say then that those who are really needing it, such as Ivori, will get that 1d6 as well. Go ahead and roll me a 1d6.
Alrighty.
And while you do that, I'm going to check this phone call that I'm getting.
Doggy dog. Middle of the road. Take a 3, everybody.
Okay. So if you give a 3, I would say that those of you who are here that actually can give yourselves that, go ahead. Ronan,
can I get my own or no?
Ronan, you are excluded from this because you were the one casting it. However, we will say that Z or Pika could have also been doing this with you. So go ahead and get the 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because you have other people together and you have the recital.
Yeah.
So they could have been aiding you as well. So everybody will gain back 3 HP if they don't have it already.
Woo!
As that goes down. It would take a minute for that to happen, so we're going to move over toward Polo and Marco over by the Sheikah member that we want to keep calling a Yiga, but technically Yiga don't exist yet.
Yeah, my brain just keeps going to Yiga. I'm sorry.
Oh, it has the coloration. It has everything else.
It has all the things that make a Yiga, but it's not Yiga.
But it's not an upside down Eye of Truth.
They are the pre-Giga.
Yeah, the pre-Giga.
The Priga, if you will.
We might need to change that a little bit. We might need to change that a little bit just to keep it away from Yiga. Maybe like Prego. He's Prego. All right, so
Pasta.
I love that pasta. Marco, you have the Master Sword out in front of you. Marco, you feel from the Master Sword a similar feel that you did feel whenever you had wielded it in the card world before. You do feel that this sword is giving you its strength. Currently, whenever you are going to be wielding the sword, I haven't given you a thing of it yet, because guess what? We're not getting in combat most likely right now. But you do feel that all of the different bonuses from it are there when your health is at full. You have a 10 square range where you can shoot out a little sword beam. You have an increased critical hit range at the moment, and you can decide whether to have your attacks be a physical slice or a holy slice.
My God, it's back.
And again, Polo, you would be able to look to the creature beside of you. This creature is only a small piece of whatever that was inside of the crevice before. It is only a small allotment of it. Whenever you have made the deal with this thing, going back in time very slightly, you have saw that it was much bigger at the time. Currently, this thing still is risen higher than even you, and you do find that its little tendrils are all over it. Even though it's wrapped around currently into one large tendril, there are other tinier tendrils that seem to be making up its entire form. It can seemingly wrap up and wrap around at anything. You can remember as you were getting this, that in that moment where you were forging this contract with it, not only were you able to get Ronan and Magic Frog out, you were also able to get yourself out with it, as all of you were placed up onto the top of the bridge before.
Yeah.
This thing was a lot larger before it did that, which probably means that its strength is depending on how big it is. And after it uses that strength, it gets smaller or bigger. I'll give you a card for it later, whenever we get the actual art for it.
Yeah.
But it currently seems to be somewhat agitated. It is not fully under your control yet. You do feel that it is still seemingly wanting something from you.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
She's not gonna start immediately ordering it around. She's just gonna have Tendril out to kind of not immediately subdue it, because again, she's not sure if it could even try to do that right now. But just, I don't know, like maybe scare him a little bit with it.
Yeah. The both of you looking toward this this person, they, again, with their grayed out Sheikah mask, seems to just be staring toward both of you, being silent, but also obviously showing his fear. He did not expect the plan that was going on with his master to fail.
Yeah.
Spain, you weren't going to say anything?
I'm only going to ask you this once. Where are they?
Marco, roll me for your... Roll me for your charm, please. The 14?
14.
I don't know.
Where are the people you and your people took and replaced?
Them? Oh, sorry, I thought you were meaning...
Obviously, I'm not going to know where the hell your boss went. And I doubt you would have as well.
We had a camp nearby. The camp we were using used to belong to a tribe of Donu. We took them over. They should be with the Donu now.
And I'm guessing these Donu are...
I should have referred to them differently. A tribe of Darknuts.
Working for you or being forced to work for you?
We showed our strength to them. As such, they submitted to us. Those who did not submit shed their armor. Those who did submit kept it. I believe they were moving north, though I don't know fully. The people that we took, if they are still there, then they most likely would have been stopped before the border of Hyrule. The Donu were heading to the northern cities, though. I don't know where the people would have been taken from there. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of the capturing squad.
Then what are you with your weirdly gray mask?
Gray mask?
We've
yes.
seen red, we've seen blue. Why is yours gray?
He goes to reach up toward the mask very slowly because he's obviously seeing both of you are on him. If you guys would allow him to touch the mask, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to take the mask off and look at it. As he does, no, it's gone. The power is gone. You broke it. The ancient Sheikah relic. That must have something to do with it.
The Shadow Medallion?
Yes. That is what my master said would happen.
No. Say his name.
Master Vati.
Vati?
He is an ancient mage, one that has lived for around half a dozen of our Sheikah years. He has lived beyond any Hylian, beyond even most Zora. He was our elder.
Well, that would explain why he is a Sheikah Magus. Apparently, it is not very common nowadays for Sheikah to be able to wield magic.
That is because Master Vati takes it from them. Master Vati has the ability to steal magic. He was born with it. Master Vati used his powers as the reigning leader of the Sheikah to take any Sheikah that would have magical talents and render it from them. Saying that it would be better for their combat ability. Better for their gift. We do not adherently feel any different than other races out there. We can be magical. I was born with the talent for magic as well. But after receiving Vati's gifts, you lose that.
What do you suppose we do, Marco?
I'm not entirely sure, Polo, but I want to know what's the point of what he's been fucking doing? What is his end goal here? Because all he's done is now pissed off a bunch of mages and a bunch of heroes. He's armless, and now he's out there, alone at this point. What could have been so goddamn important for him to risk all this for that?
I am not one of Master Vati's confidants, but I do know some of what he is planning. I can ask only one thing in return, then. Do not slay me.
Thankfully for you, that's not up to us. So we won't slay you.
You don't understand. If Master Vati is weak, I must go. I will tell you everything I know, but you must release me. That is my condition. If not, then slay me here.
Does Master Vati need you for anything? If you are not his confidant?
I am only part of the combat squad. I come at Master Vati's call when he needs it. However, recently there was a prisoner. One that Master Vati had taken in. Well, I suppose it was not Master Vati who had taken them, but either way, I have grown accustomed to rule under Master Vati, and I would give my life for him if he was to tell me to do so. But having been thrown away, having him gone into this strange place that I do know either sends you far away or kills you, I no longer have hold of whether I should listen to him or not. If that is the case, I must release his prisoner. If you would allow me that, then I will tell you everything I know. But you cannot slay me, and you cannot house me. Those are my terms. We Sheikah are very strong against torture, against any sort of coercion. You will not get these words from me without my permission. You do know that you have a quote-unquote elder of the Sheikah that says that he probably can get words from them. However, he is seemingly offering them without much hassle if you listen to him. It is up to you. You guys could still take him to be interrogated by the Sheikah master, or you guys could listen to his demands here. If you'd like, you can also hold off and talk to the others about this.
Yeah, there's that thing where she's like, she doesn't want to make a decision just between her and Marco without Ronan and without Ronan and Gorthos' input.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
But I do have this juicy apple.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do with it.
As you pull out a juicy apple, you will see that his eyes do flicker toward it, but he seems very serious. He seems very, very, very stern. He will not be tempted by that. No.
We will.
Give him a few hours with it.
We'll discuss it with our allies first and see what everyone thinks.
I hope you will understand that we really don't wish to make the decision for everybody when we are a group. So surely you will be patient with us.
I have nowhere to go. I will need the help of one or more of you to obtain what I need. I will not run unless I do sense that you plan to kill me. At which point you need to have guard over me.
I cannot speak for my comrades, but I would wish to prevent further bloodshed, if possible. Even if most of the blood shed today was of your Master Vati.
I assume Master Vati is not dead. Though
No, but one
I
would
do
say
not
that
know.
he is. One would say he is surely in need of a hand.
again, I am not.
I'm sorry, it was too soon.
Again, I am not wanting to join him. I have other plans for my life.
Smart.
I would recommend you place guard over me, however, if you wish to actually contain me.
Mhm.
We get to guard him.
Get him, horse.
A horse.
I mean,
You have an Adam over there, if you'd like to ask him.
Adam is excessively scared.
he is very good. And tactically, this guy wasn't made. Whether the potential being taken out of him makes it so it doesn't count for the spear or not,
Probably
it's
wouldn't.
up to the DM.
It probably would not count.
Currently, at the moment, I do not have a name for this one. This. This.
Hey,
I
Adam.
mean,
Can you come over here and guard this man for us for a moment?
Adam looks over towards you guys after having the song stopped. He will look down to the still unconscious but looking better Radon. Hand her over to you, Ronan.
Yeah.
Before picking up the diamond spear and walking over. As he does, Adam, you're decently sure would be enough for one Sheikah. You don't know,
Yeah.
100%
We don't
or
know.
not, but he seems to be strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, do you guys want to try to collect yourselves, go over to Ronan and Gorthos?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Gorthos, before we get you guys over here, Gorthos, you would make your way over to Ivori, as Ivori is currently kneeling over and looking into the expanse. All that research. Hopefully, when it collapsed on itself, it would have collapsed him too.
He just looks at the pit. And he just looks at Avari. And he just hugs her.
Gorthos. Get your dog body off of me.
He saw you disintegrating.
She looks at the tips of her feathers, as you do still see that they are not in their usual pointed look to them. They do have bits of the feathers along her. All of the tips of them are seemingly gone. Oh, geez. I'm guessing my mother is home, as the other dogs are going crazy. There they go. I hate them. Anyway. And so you thought to yourself to take your own? Jesus!
Dogs.
Okay. Oh, nope. Well,
Dear God.
this is today.
Bork, 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 bow, 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 bow.
That's so cute. You can't be mad because look at no faces.
They'd be going back to different.
You can be wrong. What else could he have done? It was the first thing that came to mind.
It's okay. They're all dead.
Cool.
All right.
Congratulations.
I murdered them all.
Gee.
So you then thought to take it upon yourself, then?
Well, what else could he have done? It's all he thought he could do. He panicked.
Of course you panicked. You are a fool, Gorthos. If I would have died there, what do you think would have happened to me? Think hard.
You said you never wanted to end up like him, Volcirca.
It's better than losing you. Must
Well.
you make me say these things aloud? What's the point of you saving my life if you're gone?
No. The world survives without Gorthos. Often. He's done a lot, but
I don't care about the
You-
world, Gorthos. I've never
You-
cared about this world. Why should I? Care about my brother. And all his stupid things he wants to go around and do.
well, because this world is worth loving. And he thinks you still have a chance to live that. Despite what you and Volcircuit say, going out into the world, protecting it, exploring it, and meeting all the people and places
That's you, brother.
he
That's always been you. Before your son came into the picture, you were the only one that stayed inside their little bubble. You were the only one that holed themselves up. The rest of us, we went everywhere. We did many things. We collected power, had our own lives, pretended to have different lives. We did everything. You were the only outlier. But just like you, our eyes were opened as well. At least mine. When that kid and that princess came by, I didn't kill them. I could have. But they were bringing stories of you to me. They amused me. Then whenever that dark power gripped all of us, and you were forced to leave your place and fight against those who gave you such a smile, such a light in your eyes. It made me want to devote myself to keep that there. That is why I followed you for as long as I did, Gorthos. I was never interested in saving people. I was never interested in finding treasures or going through the dungeons or any of the world politics. I was there for you. These last 1,000 years without you, I guess you can see that for yourself. She moves her wing above her head as you feel a small amount of magic course through the air. I can barely even conjure a simple spell anymore. The treasury is opened. You can go and see what awaits you. Gorthos, I know that this is your last time. And I know we've talked about this over and over. I am forcing myself to be fine with the idea that you're going to do whatever it is you do to prevent whatever you want to prevent, to do whatever you wish to do with this age. I'm fine with you dying in that stupid way. Because there's nothing I can do to stop you. Except to lock you away, and believe me, I've thought about it. But if you do that, if you die pointlessly because of me, I'm coming right after you. And that is a threat.
He knows.
So do not do it again. She will lean into you. She's not gonna try to hug you or anything, but she's just sort of leaning her head and body weight into the armor. Stupid.
Protecting you would never be a pointless way to die. You are the one we live.
It'll be around this time that the song would go around and heal, and a few minutes after, whenever Ronan, Obera, Marco, Polo, Weird Tendril, and Horse would make their way over to you. The best group of people in the world.
Billy looks over. Something seems different.
Something seems different. Horse, are you okay?
Marco, Gorthos thinks the sword looks good on him.
Thanks.
trying to be in a lightened mood is not. It's not going to work right now, is it?
Not right now, no. Because we have to decide if we're going to just straight up kill a man or let him go.
Kill him.
If it's forest, kill him. Or whatever their name is, and perhaps they're not actually
I'm
forest.
sorry, that was too brief of an explanation of what's happening here.
What's the debate? What's the dilemma?
Our new prisoner does not wish to be a prisoner in captivity. He wants us to either kill him or let him divulge all of his information and then release him.
And then potentially aid him in freeing another prisoner that they have.
Where would that be?
He hasn't divulged that information yet, but it's apparently... He seems to think that doing this is a good idea for him. He can't go back to his master, whose name is Vati.
Vati.
Gorthos, roll me experience.
Yay. Has it been a new day? Can I burn 15 tokens on that?
Not a new day. However, it
Man.
is not a humongously high roll.
Okay.
For you.
Okay. +7, go.
Yeah, there you go.
AT.
Let's try it on the other monitor so I can get fleetings going when I need to.
Gorthos, both
Yeah.
you and Ivori look visibly shocked by this information. Vati was the name of one of the heroes you guys had used in the war 1,000 years ago. Not only that, but Vati, from what you remember, was someone that you know the name of even before then. Vati, the first time you've ever heard that name was around probably 1,000 years even before then. Though you always assumed that it must have been either a title or a name passed down to someone throughout the different incursions of them. Vati was someone you traveled with quite a long time before. They were a part of the heroes that you had before your last group of 4 riders.
No.
They were an extremely powerful mage. And they had ties not even back to the Hylians and the Sheikah, but they had ties to other beings as well. Most notably, they had ties to the ancient fairies.
That he looks to Ivori like, surely not.
I must admit, that would make some amount of sense, wouldn't it?
We haven't seen him since. No, it can't even be that one. Even before the last group of riders. Even during the first war, impossible. Right?
I had assumed that there were Sheikah that had been problematic in the last fight that we had against the monsters, but Vati.
Turns to the others. Vati is a name of an extremely proficient mage. They were part of Gorthos's group of riders before Gora and the boat were them.
We didn't really even
And
call
even
them
before-
riders then, they were just people, heroes. What
The
was
name
that?
came back into circulation.
Hmm.
But
as much as I didn't want it to.
it's tradition. He just had to remember it. But that's not the point. Even before that, 1,000 years ago, countless years ago, just as proficient a mage, distant, ties to ancient fairy magic, Hylian, Sheikah, all forms of magic.
What an interesting...
But
They were
It
said
can't
to be of a
possibly-
union of a great fairy and a Hylian.
Now, we're speaking of ancient fairy magics. You know, the Lost Woods have lost that kind of luster.
We have yet to see any of the great fairies. But
Technically, we have, but you know.
Yeah, just
Well,
not me.
in
I'm not a
that-
fairy. I'm not a great fairy.
just in their big great. Well, I don't know how what a great fairy looks like, so I don't even know. if
You
they're
would
big.
recognize a great fairy.
You, by the way.
Perhaps it is, if Aghanim still exists, and maybe Vati does too. But still,
Mm.
he doesn't look
Perhaps.
anything like he remembers him.
If there were something of the same, again, the name Vati could just be something passed down through time, but
Did he
Even
not
if
just
this
fall through a
was-
time portal?
No.
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 she looks
I
over.
don't know what.
She
Yeah,
looks
they
over
just look-
top of
they
the
just-
expanse. You just see
So
a
to
look
say,
of
just like,
for a moment, a genuine look of no.
Do you remember? You don't remember your traveling companion having one arm mysteriously, do you?
did he?
No?
No, he was fully intact, right? Oh, was it
I don't know what
trick?
difference it would make if he was anyway. I was just putting an idea out there.
I don't know. All I do know is that there have been others that have taken that name. One was a warrior from around 1,000 years ago, but the Sheikah do not live that long, at least through normal means. I've
What about
heard
for,
of
like-
magics prolonging life, but
Yes.
among the Hylians and Sheikas, those are not magics that are easy to come by.
But if he was a union between fairy folk and Hylians,
It could mean
fairy
that
folk and
it could mean that he's been either taking life or even jumping into new life.
He's definitely been taking magic from the Sheikah. At least according to the Sheikah over there, he's been around for at least half a dozen of our lifetimes put together.
Sage of Shadows.
Which, you know, is already pretty long for people who
Anything.
aren't. Yeah.
We can only go under the assumption that they don't know the full extent of this person's energies unless they are a confidant of his.
We wouldn't have him to have lucked out, and that is a confidant of his.
And this Vati has been taking the magic of Sheikah that have gone to him or he's taken and given them certain gifts in return. Though what that actually means, not entirely sure.
Taking magic and giving gifts.
Probably improving their physical and
Mm,
natural abilities, I'd assume.
We can
Zeb.
learn more from them. You're sure we have to release them to learn this information?
I only have so much on me to take advantage with temptations.
They're very hardened against torture.
Yes.
We've
It's
understood.
not going to get us anywhere.
So if he's going to freely give us everything and be released and be given some kind of aid to free another prisoner,
Who is this other prisoner? Did they say?
I don't know, but it seems that this prisoner has gotten the interest of another one of their members.
He
He wasn't entirely clear on it.
he is willing to divulge everything we're willing to ask of him, so we could ask. It's
Yeah.
just then we'd be having to take them up on their bargain and releasing them as well as helping them.
I guess it might be worth clarifying his intentions after all that, if we do release him.
Before we think of releasing him, let's go and make sure that everyone is taken care of first.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Get everyone to
I
their
would-
feet. Keep someone watch over them, for at least for now. And then we can hopefully see what all is going on. I will warn all of you of something, however. Hopefully it does not affect any of you, but earlier I tried casting a simple spell, one that would release the treasury for Gorthos. And my magic seems to not be coming to me all that well. If that is the same for the other mages here, we may have a problem.
Cobra, how are you feeling?
Relatively well, though, now that you mention it, I'm feeling something rather odd. Not an absence of magic, but something else.
Hmm?
What?
Well, you all remember whenever I cast that spell over by the strange icy prism we saw Jason in before?
Yes,
Yeah.
the man.
That fireball that I cast.
Mm-hmm.
It is a simple spell. It's one that usually can just sustain itself over time by the magic in the air or my own residual magic. I don't normally have to feel it. Though currently I feel as if I'm more aware of it. I feel that it's taking actually effort of my concentration to keep it afloat.
Weird.
So you've maybe gotten either weaker or something else has changed? I don't know.
That's been there for a while now.
Again, it's
More
something
fun.
that usually can just sustain itself with our magics. Fire magic in particular is something the Rivazor are completely inept with. Or adept with, my bad. No, not the other one. Are completely adept with. But it's a little bit hard to keep my mind off of it now.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to go there soon.
Yes.
I feel
we
that if I
will.
do lose concentration of this, I may lose that spell, yes. So all the power and energy it's been accumulating over the past month may be very well wasted if that's the case.
Wouldn't want that after all this.
According to what I heard Adam say before when we were speaking to him, his diamond spear could not even scratch that creature. So if we do lose this spell on it, which would be the strongest spell I believe I could ever cast to it, I may not be able to hurt it either.
That was supposed to be Majin's reconstructed form. That makes sense. He was so damnably durable.
Well, for now, we should do what Ivori said and check on everyone, make sure, get them back on their feet. And figure the
Let's
rest out
gather
after.
everyone deeper into this place. I don't want to be around the expanse right now.
Okay.
He is going to climb down there and get those materials later. It's star metal.
It seems that for the most part, the expanse seems to be gone.
I'm worried if it may only be gone temporarily or not. I do not want to see if it expands altogether at once or not. Though, if there is just the materials down there that I originally threw in, then perhaps it could be safe to go and collect. Maybe even
How hard is
maybe
it?
even your friend there could go and do it. Points over towards your tendril.
Oh, yes, what that? He needs to know what that is later.
That is the monster from beneath the depths.
There's a monster in the depths.
Yes, we
Yes.
were told about it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things have been happening. Some things slipped his mind.
After, I guess his name is Vati. After Vati used some foresight spell, I had to think, well, what's the last thing I would do? The last possible thing that I would do, instead of the most likely thing I would do, and I chose to jump off of the bridge
Makes
and
sense.
see if I can make a pact with the beast of the expanse. I wasn't sure, but I guess it is an undead.
Oh, there they go again. They're back from the
Well, it
dead.
worked out.
Oh, no, silly Donu.
I thought they were up north.
I can still hear Rocket's voice.
He's gone. We have to let it go.
We'll see them one day.
Oh, he will, because I'm going to the desert. I'm going to go fucking yell at Zelda. Let them try and stop me at the gate. I will break it down.
No, they're gonna invite us in. We know this.
Yep.
I'll still
They're
break
letting
it down
everyone
anyway.
I'll break it down because I feel like it, not because they're barricading it.
Because I felt like it.
It's the principle. Leave me alone.
We will say that for the sake of brevity,
Yeah.
you guys are able to collect those who were around here, and all of you would make your way deeper into this place where apparently they find it being hopefully a little bit less likely of weird, like, expansy explosions.
Oh, well, looks like Gordos needs to build a new hand and foot.
As you guys
He
would
hates hands.
come into this place, you would find that as for everybody who would be up here, most of them seem to be relatively fine. The spell that had happened before that seemed to have wiped memory or done something to the mind does not seem to be really affecting most of them. They must have been either out of the range of it or whatever. You would find, Gorthos, that your demon form is in this area. It is collapsed off into the side of the room, and you're assuming just a heap of bones.
Oh, that's gonna be annoying to piece back together.
As for Magic Frog is looking as if they are resting after having taken all of the damage for you before, and of course casting Hellfire or Hell Lightning. My bad.
You're such a helpful boy. Is
But
Poma still fucking
Clarity
dissipating?
seems fine when it comes to the others. Argo is waking up from the healing you had given. Same with Master Rova. Most of the others who were far enough away seem to be perfectly fine. You see Hosier is sort of keeping the people who were actually hurt, sort of like doing some first aid around them. Stu is giving some aid, as well as Gru. Most of them seem fine. However, you would find that a couple of them are looking a little bit worse for wear. These couple are, unfortunately, the spirits in this area. Let me get everybody. Acer's fine too. Look at Acer. They're doing great.
Yay, Easter.
Where you at, Poma? There you are. You find that as you make your way toward the spirits to attempt to gather them, let me get some darker music, please. You would find that both the spiritual witch that was adhering to the cauldron, as well as Caliburn, both look as if they are fading.
Oh.
They seem as if they are fading rather quickly as well.
I don't know how to fix that.
As Ronan, you think this, as you're trying to figure out what best to do, you also do find that the only spirit that seems to be perfectly fine is Poma. Poma seems to be looking over the two of them, floating above them. Imbeciles. And seems to fly over toward the rest of you.
Oh, what's happening to them?
You have a skeletal figure among you. Have you, by chance, been to the great undead city?
No.
He wasn't aware it was a city, but he's heard of it.
So you don't have any bone meal potion on you?
Bone...
Meal?
He's sorry?
Bone meal potion. It is a potion that is seemingly having bone meal as the key ingredient in it. It is a specific potion that is only used on those who are undead.
You see, that sounds helpful.
Is there any of that stuff around here? Looks to Ivori.
Has nothing needed of that, though I have used this potion on Gorthos before. He just does not have a great memory.
Hmm.
It is something that we have used previous in order to revive Volcircuit as well.
How
I can
how
check
rare
my
is
stores and see if I have anything, but I doubt it.
how rare is bone meal potion?
Well, they can only be crafted by oh God, what are they called again? Damn it.
An alchemist?
No. The skeletons. God.
All
Oh.
Yeah. It can only be crafted by a stall magician.
stall magician.
They're able to imbue their potions with bits of their own bone. Luckily for them, after a bit of time, they can grow it back or even use a bit of the bone meal potion to replenish it. However, they need their own bone in order to create it.
Gorthos can rectify this.
They can grow their
we
bones
do-
back.
It's complicated.
Weren't some company here merchants? Maybe they might have some in their stocks.
If they've been to the Great Undead City, I would be really shocked, but you could always check. I'd rather do that than their last resort.
I think it is Miss Ellen and Miss Reva.
Yep, you guys can definitely go and
Yes.
ask them.
Yeah,
Out
she
of
will.
everybody here, you would find that most other people here, there aren't any other undead magicians except for one other person, but I believe Gorthos was going to mention something about that.
Yeah.
That being said,
Yeah,
as you would make your way, Polo, over toward where Ellen and Reva were. Once again, I explained a bit ago, but it seems that Hosier is trying to do basic first aid on anybody else who needs it. Same with Gru and Stu. You would find making your way over toward Ellen and Reva relatively unperturbed. Whatever. There's a toe there. Somebody take the toe.
put that back in the
My
bottle.
toe!
Fucking God.
I don't go that crazy over it, but if it's still a functional thing, he will put it back in the bottle.
Polo, you make your way over toward where Ellen and Reva are. You find that Ellen is currently laying back on Reva's lap, seemingly both of them still somewhat tired after their thing. However, Reva sees you coming. Hello, champion.
Just Polo is fine, Miss Reva.
Of course.
First I would like to ask if you two are all right.
It's been a little bit of a trip. I didn't think coming here and seeing all of your mage buddies was gonna be this eventful. They're not really mage buddies, but yes.
If we don't mind me asking, I might have probably forgotten in all of the commotion. Which one of you is the mage?
That is me. I am.
I see.
You see that Reva motions to their gem on their forehead. That would be me.
Ah,
Sorry, could I be of use to you, champion?
well, I know that both of you are well versed in mercantile, and you're merchants.
Yes.
By any chance, would you happen to have any potions of the bone meal variety?
Bone meal potions? You see Ellen sit up. Why would you need something like that?
We might just currently need it. Because I immediately forgot the reason.
The two ghosts
currently,
are
the two
dying.
ghosts are fading.
Oh, the ghost.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's what it was.
Well, I mean, if I did have any of that, which it definitely wouldn't be anything of... They stop for a second. They look to Reva. I doubt they'd be asking us if it's just looking for contraband, Ellen. We have been to the undead city, yes, but I don't believe we have any bone meal potions on us, no.
Oh dear.
I believe that this may be useful, however, if you plan on doing anything with it anytime soon. They do seem to put their large bag down. As they do, they reach in and they seem to find what appears to be, some potion base. You see a gurgling liquid that seems to be very blackish brown that they seem to hold out. We have bought this from one of the merchants in the underground city. It is apparently a potion base that they use. I don't think that there's any actual bone meal inside, but if you plan on making potions, this may help you out.
Yes, that would be more than helpful. Or at least it would be a start.
And we'll give it to you for the low. Here you go.
Oh.
As Ellen's just like, I was gonna say that. Free.
Free.
Excuse me, cough. Fuck. Shit. Okay.
Champions discount. Also, we would have died without you, so here.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
We don't make a habit of giving out everything, but we do sometimes have free samples. Just consider it that.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
I've been making dye out of that. It's really good.
Yes, that explains the hair colors.
You like it?
It is certainly very intriguing.
Do you think like another color would suit me better? You have things to do. We'll talk about it later.
Have you considered purple?
I have not considered purple. I did pink before.
I feel like the pink in your eyes would meld a bit too easily.
Yeah, that's why I did blue.
Yeah, no, blue is quite nice. Yes. So I will. Thank you for your gratitude. I will still find a way to make it up to both of you. And
well, if you wouldn't mind, I see you have some kind of strange creature with you. That reminds me of the creature that's here in the depths. If you wouldn't mind getting me some of that fabric in return, I would be very grateful.
She just kind of like, you said it's in her shadow, right?
Yep, it's currently just like attached to your shadow, seemingly.
You know what she's talking about, do you?
As you attempt to communicate with this creature, I would like you to first roll me for your lore, please.
Oh, man. Bit. Okay, yeah, I don't have anything. It's just
you
like,
have
oh,
one
shit.
fleeting.
Oh, okay, that works. Snake eyes, 13.
It seems to, for a moment, sort of slap a bit of resistance or resilience against you. However, as you ask it that question, you do see a sense of acknowledgement coming from it. As in, yes.
I know a part of you is currently accompanying me, and there are other parts of you probably still up in the abyss. Would you be so kind? I have yet to give you a name. I am currently thinking of one.
It looks to
She just,
you,
like-
it seems to not be able to do your request. However, you do find the tendril does seem to, for a moment, bring itself around to your head. As it does, it seems to turn your head over with it. Upon being touched by this thing, it's almost like being touched by silk. And just a very strange, almost just like, you feel like this may be what touching a cocoon or something feels like. As it moves your head up and off toward where the bridge is, you do see it focusing you toward the darkness up in the ceiling. Like, there's a lot of it up there.
Oh.
However, this place doesn't belong to Riva, which is why she's like, oh, you get me some of that.
I see. So there's an abundance up there. You wouldn't mind if we procured some of it?
It seems to keep itself on your neck very slightly. However, it does seem to retreat and just sort of bring itself behind you. It does not seem to give a care.
Okay. I will probably see if Gorthus can lend me his little servants. They can fly, so maybe they'd be able to get them. I will still think of a name for you. Don't you worry.
There's a strange, almost cackling, almost like a chitinous kind of cracking coming from it, but nothing audible seems to really be, nothing like at least verbal seems to be coming from it.
It is quite amicable. I'm going to see if it likes cheese later. I'm going to check on Grandmother Rover.
Okay. Do you want to do anything with the potion base you were just given?
She will before checking on Grandma Rova, she will bring them back the potion base.
Okay. As you bring the potion base back over to Gorthos, Gorthos, you did have an idea before. Would you like to verbalize it before I just assume?
I think it's funnier like this. Gorthos just excuses himself, and when Polo comes back, he's in the mage body now.
You would have to take a little bit of time to get there, but yes, you could do that. You can make your way back toward your thing and come back with.
Where's my
your
little
mage
mage stats?
It is
Here
currently in the
I found
basement, I believe. No, where is it at?
I found it.
There he is.
Oop.
As you are brought over, you are now in your mage body. Polo, you see the magey Gorthos in front of you.
I wasn't able to procure any bone meal potion, but Miss Riva did have what is called a potion base. My assumption is that you would only need the bone meal of a stall, and just mix it in with this, and we would have that.
That will be difficult to find, but he'll find something somehow.
You.
Yes.
It's
It's a potion base.
It was just like the math, the equations just was like, but wait, you're a stall.
At this point, you find that Poma is sort of looking over the two of them. They look back to you. I believe you'll have around 6 hours before they dissipate.
You'll only need 5, probably.
Is there nothing we can do to even just subdue it for a little bit?
He has no idea what he's doing.
Healing magics on them are difficult. I know that in particular, if you were to use that spell that you had before, looks over toward Ronan, they would most likely pass on.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we dump them in the box full of malice.
Would that even work?
Probably
No,
not.
maybe.
If you've not made any potion before, I probably think you would get someone to aid you, maybe Galen or Argo or something.
Galen is first in potion making. All Miss Aga.
Mhm.
When you
Miss
say
Aga
Miss,
is
when
quite
you say Miss Aga,
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
look around for a moment as you realize, oh yeah, you guys still have Miss Aga.
Yeah, Tika has her trading card.
Where is Aga? He has not seen her since we had arrived.
Oh, she's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holds out Clarity's card.
Yeah.
You see, as you look on it, what appears to be an extremely pissed-looking woman banging on the front of the card.
That is mortifying.
I thought that the cards were just still images. I did not know that they could move like that.
It was a still image
It's
whenever she
Aga.
was. It was a still image whenever she was sleeping. However, upon her
right.
having rested, she seems to have been trying to get out to help.
You put her in there when she was asleep. I forgot.
Because
that.
We should probably let her out.
Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Do you know how mad she's gonna be when I do that?
Very.
I could
Yeah.
try to talk her down.
I feel like she'd be
No,
more
just
mad
let her
if you
out.
didn't
It'd
do
be
it
funny.
right now.
Maybe
If you wait
she,
till later, it'll be way worse.
maybe if she promises to be good.
Give me the
We
fucking
could
card.
simply explain that we were. We could simply
That's a fellow.
we could simply explain that it was per her wishes. She wanted some way to avoid her magic being stolen, and there was no way they could have gotten to her through the card. And she was asleep.
Slam, 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 slam.
Come on now, just let her out.
Need to find her first, and then I will.
She
There she is. I found her.
is.
Yay.
As
That's
you
really
go over,
funny.
as you go over to her, she does release the card being spent as Aga gets onto the ground, and just, you guys feel just an absolute, almost washing of magical energy go over all of you. With the absence of magic from all the mages around, it almost felt normal in here for a little bit. And then a bunch of angry magic energy seems to rush out all at once.
Well, that's what that's like.
No way.
As Aga stands up, the same neutral face on her as always, but again, the almost just pure anger solidified into a fog, almost like a cutting with a knife amount of angry magic just swarming around her. About time.
We were able to take care of the thing taking everyone's magic.
Yep.
Were you able to have a plentiful rest, Mr. Aga?
I was. About half a day ago.
He looks over to Pika.
I thought
You
that
didn't let her
time
out
just
until
stopped
now?
for you when you got
Half
put in
a-
one of those.
Half a day?
Yes. Perhaps we did not understand the magnitude of the magic items.
This is why I
Sorry.
keep telling you both not to just stick people in them.
I'm sure that everyone had their best intentions. However, it was very frustrating feeling all of you under attack and me unable to do anything to aid you. Though I suppose if I would have been out, then my magic would have been subjected to being taken by that person as well. So I can only be so mad. The gem on their head is like shining brightly. It's like
Perhaps a chance to direct that anger into something constructive would be nice.
The mountain does look very undestroyed, you're right.
I don't know if
Constructive.
that's what he meant.
He said constructive.
Yeah, try it.
Please don't. He just got his house back. Both of them.
Oh yeah.
I thank you, Polo, for allowing me to get some rest and understanding of my situation. If it were not for you taking me to such a place, I worry that my magics might have actually been used against all of you. And it seems, from what I can feel around here, that I would have also been subjected to whatever ill effects are happening to the other magicians here. Luckily, I seem to have all of my powers still intact.
Phenomenal.
Though it does make me wonder, perhaps that was the reason behind my binding to Galen in the first place. Oh well.
Possibly.
All's well that ends well.
Well, aside from a feeling that you must have really hated being in that card, Miss Aga, we wanted to see if you would if you would humor us a favor.
Of course.
Do you know how to construct bone meal potion? We have a base.
In particular, that potion, no, but you do remember what I told you before, or at least I told Galen before, correct? Magicians and potions don't usually mix too well. They are usually random effects. The potions themselves gain power through the base that is used, yes, but they gain power throughout a witch's lifetime. Using the
This one
same
is
base
using-
over and over again until you get random effects that you like. That being said, you have a base, it seems, And my idea of potion making has been challenged before. Both Obra and her look over toward an unconscious Argo.
Isn't he just a pioneer?
So perhaps following a recipe, if you were to do something relatively similar, would be doable.
We have 6 hours.
It's okay. Gorthos has many bones lying around.
Gorthos can use many of his bones.
There are many bones in this bony man.
He's thinking of trying the third rib first. On the left side.
If this is what you plan to do, I can aid you in any way that I can, though, again, I am not the greatest when it comes to this. If you were to have Argo aid, or even a potion master of sorts from somewhere else, I'm sure that it would go better.
We could check on Argo, and we had somewhat entertained Galen, but Galen isn't really fond of making potions. He absolutely does not like doing them.
With Argo
fucking
and
hates them.
Argo.
He fucking.
Young magicians like myself and Galen do not get a lot of power out of potions. We don't have a base that has taken us all of our lives to cultivate. So it is not fun to fail over and over again.
That's how you learn. The best way, at least. In any case, Argo and Argo both working with Gorthos on this could yield some interesting and hopefully positive results.
Then,
How is Argo looking over
Yeah.
there right now?
Because you guys were able
Awesome.
to place that spell onto Argo, the one that Matilda had given, they're not dead.
Yeah,
But they
he's sensitive to
currently are somewhat unconscious.
They're a little sensitive to life right now.
That being said, he was healed before. If you guys would like to try to wake him up, you can. However, if you fail to wake him up, you'll have to wait till he just wakes up on his own.
If you do fail to wake him up, he will just die.
Where was Pan the last we heard?
They were making
Pan?
their way back over toward the thief village.
Damn.
Hateno, yeah.
Hey,
Oh, we don't
Deco.
have any door there.
We don't.
In-
Oh.
Hey, Deco.
We have
What's up?
no, not close.
I have the sense of adventure thing where after combat I heal everyone for 1d4 1 exhaustion.
Yeah, healing is different than that. Also, when it comes to Argo was already healed. He's actually at max HP because of that D6. He only has 3 hearts.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Has he only had 3 hearts this whole time?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, does
We've
he-
never outright put him in danger until now.
does he
We've been
have-
very
is he
good at that.
perhaps Suffering from exhaustion.
Argo is currently suffering from getting hit and is hurting.
Imagine, I'm
Okay,
imagining like,
I wanted to know because my fucking song helps with that as well.
Yeah, both of you can heal
So-
exhaustion. It's not an exhaustion thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming some of his soul got ripped out because they're pure magic.
Literally, from what you guys have just been
So-
told, any of the magicians that were here have lost a bit of their magic, either permanently or otherwise. And Argo is a Kokiri, which means he is a being completely comprised of magic.
Yeah, he broke his magic ankles. You can't just heal that.
Yeah, you guys can attempt to wake him up, like I said. That is,
We can attempt
but
it.
if you fail, he will have to wake up on his own. Is all I was saying.
Yeah.
You know, she was gonna go check on Rova anyway. So she was after giving Gorthos and or Aga the potion base. She was gonna make her way to check on Rova and Argo.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go tickle them
It's,
with my new tickler, with my new undead tickler.
I suppose Gorthos should go that way too. He is needing to ask for help.
Okay.
Oh, where am I?
Also,
There is my.
okay, yeah. As you guys, we'll say that most of you would be around the same age at this point.
Yeah, congregation.
Currently, the only ones that aren't are the 2 spirits that are being slowly moved into the center of the area by Poma, because they're the only
Just
ones that
like-
can really do much, except for maybe Ronan, because Ronan can touch ghosts.
Yeah.
But as they're getting somewhat moved into a good position, you bring yourself over. Hosier is looking down toward Rova and Argo. Those two being the ones that have currently taken the most attention by everybody, mostly because very, very old Kokiri
Very,
tiny man.
very pure magic creature.
Kokiri Magic Man.
2 degrees separated from fairy.
As you guys would approach, I'm just gonna assume all 4 of you come to approach. And here you go, Radon. You can be held by Obera for now.
Auntie Opera.
As the 4 of you would approach Hosier will be looking to each of you. These 2 have been have had their wounds dressed. Seems everybody here is in a lot stabler condition than I would have expected. Seems you guys did things rather quickly. I am embarrassed that I must have passed out very early in this.
It was because of the spell that happened, so don't blame yourself for that.
Yes.
I
Feel
do hate
no
magic
shame.
I do hate magic with a passion. You are correct.
It can be quite annoying to deal with, yes.
Have they shown any signs of regaining consciousness?
The last time I had attempted to wake Argo up, he had made some noise, but I thought that he was best off resting. The last time that Miss Rova had awoken, she cursed at me and fell back asleep.
Makes sense.
Yes.
She was saying something of the ilk of, "You're not the last face I want to see. Get your ugly face out of my face."
That sounds
Your face isn't ugly. It's so rude.
In the short time
Thank you,
he's
Marco.
known this one. In the short time he's known this witch, that makes complete and total sense. At least Argo was less rude. Now then.
I haven't gotten him to say much. Again, he made some noise, but he is not in any danger of dying, to my understanding. I don't know much of Kokiri physiology, but I have dressed any bruises he may have gotten. Mostly it is from, I suppose he had fell at one point. Everything else that is wrong with him was purely magical.
Indeed. Physiology of Kokiri is fascinating. They can turn into little trees.
What?
What?
We'll take you to the Lost Woods. You'll love them. Now then. To awaken the little lad. If it can be done.
They say sometimes it can be that staying asleep is more of a subconscious thing, or more so the body is willingly keeping him out of consciousness. So giving him maybe what they would say a reason to wake up.
I'm gonna roll for
And
Aga and Pika really quickly.
An idea, then.
Something that would probably really draw Argo's attention.
He knows exactly how to do that.
What's your
Go
plan?
for it.
He's gonna go towards Argo. He's gonna gently say to Argo, wake up. The Gerudo chieftain is waiting for you. She's right there, Argo. You must wake up and say everything you've ever wanted to say to her.
I'll give him advantage. All right, let's see.
I literally, if you didn't do it, I was gonna fucking do it.
Believe me, I thought about it too.
It's too easy.
I'll give
It's
him. I'll give him advantage. He needs a high roll, but I'll give him advantage.
Let's go, Argo. Let's go,
But-
Argo.
I give him a
believe in
fucking. Okay, whatever.
Like maybe Robo just doesn't want to get up. So it's just like maybe Argo doesn't want to get up.
You watch as you say that to him, and as you say this into his ear in hopes that he would hopefully get up and wish to embrace the sweet the embrace of the
Desert
Gerudo
mommy.
chieftain, Desert Mommy. There's a smile that goes across his face, but he does not wake up.
Well, darn. I got
Worth
nothing.
a shot.
And it halfway worked. He just pokes him. It's like poke.
I'm gonna
Porthos doesn't run out
roll.
of ideas.
I'm gonna roll for one other person because both Aga and Pika failed the roll. I will roll for Hosier. See if Hosier knows anything that may be.
You now know more than you should about this Kokiri. It might be a girl.
Well, it's not even that. It's more of a different thing, but he doesn't know. Okay. I didn't even realize Kokiri could even exist this long outside of the forest.
And neither do they most of the time. Quite a shocking revelation for most of them.
I don't think they instantly die, but obviously that's not the case. I think they can just live outside the forest if they want to.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
And this is a little unorthodox. It's not how the thing is normally supposed to work, but heckin' Ronan wants to try to enchant his heckin' gauntlet with earth magic, like nature magic, and he wants to try to like channel it into Argo, maybe give him a little bit of what he's lacking.
I believe nature is one of your things, correct?
Yeah, or well, we call it earth,
magic,
but
yeah.
it's nature.
Yeah.
You guys rub your gauntlets together. Clear.
Give me a magic check. This isn't going to immediately work. However, this could give you something else. Give me a magic check. Roll one more time.
14. Oh, okay. Yo.
Oh,
Also
That's a
14, but
19.
that one's a 19. You cast the earth magic onto your gauntlet. You bring yourself down and you try to enchant some earth magic into Argo, just giving him some kind of a feeling of it. As you do find that as you do this, there's a look of comfort that goes across his face, but he does not wake up. However, I would like the four of you, upon this happening to him, to roll me for your instincts, please.
ooh.
Yes, sir. You know what? Fuck it. It's my good stat, so why don't I use my final
22.
guidance token?
So I will give this over to Gorthos because he has it.
That is a 7. I don't know shit.
First
Thank
roll
you.
is an 11.
I completely forgot about
Second
that.
roll is a 10. Damn.
And what'd you get, Gorthos?
10.
16 altogether.
Ollie,
Marco
the mage
and
body is
Ronan.
not perceptive.
Marco and Ronan, you guys, upon seeing this happen, Ronan, you feel almost a connection to it as you do this, but Marco, you just seem to notice something out of the corner of your eye. Ronan, you feel something let off some kind of a magical hymn as you do that. And Marco, you see a slight glow happening over by where the bridge is. As the both of you seem to feel something from that direction, Marco, being the faster person, you go to look. Ronan, you going up behind, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
The two of you would notice something over by the ledge, the lower ledge of the bridge. You guys see the forest staff that was in
fuck.
Argo's hands that he had dropped whenever he had fallen.
Oh.
Zoom.
However, it is not on the bridge. The glow is coming from the bridge. It is coming from down below.
Oh.
However, it seemed to react to your magic, Ronan. Whenever you touched
Okay.
Argo with it.
I'll hop down anyway and go over towards that bridge.
The two of you would look down. You would note that the actual staff seems to have been caught on a seemingly one of those tendrils of darkness that are down there. The base of the staff, which you guys know to be part of the seed of the great Deku tree, is currently wrapped along whatever this monster's tendrils are, and the monster isn't consuming it, so that's good.
That's good.
Good boy, crazy weird monster tendrils.
Hey, Paulo,
That's it.
could you get this? Could you ask this thing down here to give us that stick?
Oh,
As you two look over, you see Gorthos about to do the same thing, but with lightning hands.
I don't know why, but because this is the representative of the tendril, I want to imagine like every time she turns, this big bulb just turns to it, like it's like turns to look at her as if it's a head, but it's a tendril, so it's fun. It's funny.
Yep, the head of
It's
it,
like
the head of it seems to be moving almost independently of the rest of it. It is moving very
Yeah.
unnaturally. Yes.
Excuse me. Would you be so kind as to bring that rod with upwards so that we can help our friend?
Roll me charm.
It just I fucking bomb it. It says,
It said, stuff it. It said, get stuffed.
no. 10.
Polo.
Charm is 3. 13.
It doesn't seem to immediately take your orders into consideration as you turn to it. Still seemingly with that same kind of thing I said earlier to you, where it's sort of like looking for something from you.
If it had eyes, it'd be rolling it.
You find the tendrils, the smaller tendrils of this thing seem to almost lift you up off the ground as it is like inspecting you and moving you around. You are currently being held up by your own shadow tendril and getting like turned around and inspected. It is not listening to you.
Okay, well,
It is an inquisitive soul.
I just like over the ledge see it like lifting her into the air. It's like, okay, so that's not happening.
I just need a moment. It clearly wants something, and
It's like turned you upside
So-
down at this point. It's like looking you over.
So you
Well,
have a grappling hook, right, Marco?
How far down is it?
Oh, very far. It is decently far down.
I do in
well,
fact
that's
have that grappling hook.
You can attempt to grappling hook it.
You wanna like climb down, grab it while I hold the other end?
Sure.
Just over here, just like, what is it looking for?
I'm going to say that this is not what I expected you to try to do, so I'm going to give you a chance to have this work. Roll me for strength, which is physique from Roland, and roll me for, we'll say, instinct from Marco.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what you want. Do you want a bottle? I have a cookie. I
That's
have
a 16
Kanana.
from me.
Let's see here. Is this considered stupid?
No.
Dangerous?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, I'll
Little
roll.
Bitty Dragon says 0, no tentacle porn. Oh no, or is it supposed to be, oh no, tentacle porn? I don't know, one or the other.
Does it even eat?
That's a total of 14.
14 and 16. You guys try this. Unfortunately, you are still very slightly away from it by the time you try to get down there to it to reach out for it. You do not have the ability to reach out and grab it and untie it from the thing. However, you getting as close as you are to it, you feel that there is a chime coming from it once again. As Ronan, you feel a sense that it's still connected to your magic. As this is happening, I'm going to say that most likely this man's would have been with you because he likes being around Roland.
It's true.
Upon him looking down into the area, I'm going to give Z a chance to roll for this.
Okay. Would you expected us to not do the stupid thing?
No.
Whoa.
And first roll is a 6. Second roll is another 6. Oh, I've got nothing. It is to a point right now where you guys aren't entirely sure what you can do. It seems to be connected to Roland's magic somehow.
I'm gonna use it again.
The earth
I'm gonna
magic.
use the thingy. Yeah.
It seems to glow out and give that chime again that
here.
you saw before, Marco.
Come to me, stick.
Roll me just a straight D20,
Okay.
Ronan. Which is a straight D20. We'll see if luck gives you something.
12.
12. And Marco, one straight D20.
Sure thing. 16.
Ronan, as you're looking down and as you're enchanting something and you're hearing that chime coming from it, Marco, you start recognizing that chime is almost giving off a musical tone, as it seems to be almost responding to Ronan's magic with a musical reverberation. You also remember that Argo as well is a musician.
Ronan, do the song thing.
Okay,
Match
well,
the-
give me a
match the
sec.
Dingling.
I'll pull you back up real quick.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not. Up you come.
Oh man.
Doing it.
And once Marco's up, he will heckin' whip out his violin.
Okay.
So which one are we thinking again?
Who knows?
I'm not thinking of a specific one. I just thought
I'll
match
play
the
the
Dingling.
forest one.
Gonna play the menu out of the forest.
Yeah.
Gonna do a small excerpt.
Yeah.
As you play the menu out of the forest, you find that the glow of the staff that is just below seems to resonate out a little bit more. You do feel magic around the area, just as the small excerpt would allow you. You and Z call out in the Song of the Forest. As you do, you notice that the staff begins to lift from where it's at and begin to start floating its way upwards, coming out of the grip of the tendril that had stopped it from falling too far down. As it does, it seems to float up towards your hand by the time the short excerpt is done.
Oh,
You did it.
hey!
Congratulations.
Weird did it.
Weird dirt.
All our staff are belong to us.
All right, let's get this back to Argo.
All right.
You guys make your way up. You see that Polo's still having problems.
I'm still
There's
trying to
a-
figure out what it wants.
There is a short crowd that is around Polo now, like looking like, what the fuck's going on?
How does it inspect? It has no eyes.
I have a bottle. I have several apples.
It's okay, Polo. I don't think it needs
Have you
anything
tried-
anymore.
Have you
It's
tried getting it?
clearly looking for something.
Do you have a piece of cheese?
I don't have any cheese.
Then he doesn't know what this chasm beast might want.
What? It could want nothing else.
For cheese is the ultimate resource, coveted by even the gods themselves.
It seems to want something, but I don't know. It's being rather recalcitrant.
It is at this point that it has currently inspected every inch of you. It has wrapped you up relatively well as it goes to look all over you with its no eyes. The tendrils begin to recede and it sets you down.
Are you satisfied?
It looks back at you. It still has not gotten rid of that feeling of wanting something from you.
Have you thanked it for anything it's done yet?
I did thank it before.
Did you give it a head pat?
She tries to reach up.
You reach up toward it.
Yes.
As you go to pat it on the head or the head of its stalk.
The head adjacent thing.
The head
Having the
adjacent.
tentacle.
You pat it. Yep.
Stroking the tentacle, yep.
Well, this is much different than a goma.
I think the
Hmm.
weirdest part of this is, I mean, if you can somehow tame that thing, then you literally have a way to just float around. Wonder how high it can take you.
Well, if it could go very high, I could probably try to get some of that silk up there myself.
Gorthos kept catching that just by walking across the bridge. It's very annoying.
Gorthos, you do know that you do have some of that silk on your big body.
Actually, just reaches in, you just see him reach into the pile that is these bones and pulls out the silk.
You bring back the dark.
A bone falls out and kicks it back in the pile. It's like, yeah.
You bring back the dark silk as you hold it out toward Polo.
Oh,
There you go.
yes. Miss Riva wanted this in exchange for that potion base. But
Oh, fantastic.
yes. But I would very much like to know what you want. But right now I'm finding it hard to see if I can come to any sort of understanding. I have father's eye.
Don't give it to your father's eye.
Well, maybe it just wants to look at it.
That seems unwise.
Well, I don't think it would want a bottle or apples or kananas or a cooling elixir or a shika knife or arrows.
As you start calling out all the things you own, Ronan, you bring the staff down toward Argo. As you place it near Argo, you note that a small chime seems to come out from the staff that seems to almost resonate and have the melody of the Song of the Forest that you had just played, the Minuet of the Forest. As it lets out such a small chime, Argo begins to awaken.
Hey, there he is.
Hey guys, you're alive. I'm alive.
Somehow.
Woo. I had a great dream.
Congratulations.
I was having such a good dream.
Good for you. I'm very
None
happy
of you were
for
there, but somebody was. Anyway, no.
Unbelievable. No gratitude.
What's going on?
Oh boy.
A lot's happened, but right now we need immediate help with a potion, a bone meal potion. Have you ever heard of that?
No, not really. But if you need a potion made, we can mess around with my basin.
Yes.
You guys remember that, Ronan, you have brought the basin over Nya.
Yeah.
Over in.
Are you feeling
this
good? Are
area.
you feeling like you can do it right now, or do you need a minute?
I mean, if it's something you guys need now, I don't really know if I have a choice, but I'm definitely down to help as much as I can. I don't need to be staying down here, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There are pretty ghost ladies that need our help.
You're right. Understood. No,
I know him so well.
he was gonna help regardless.
Yeah, of course he was.
Listen, you just need that extra bit of motivation.
We'll put Gorthos's body like right in the
You see, now's the time for levity.
There we go. You guys, through Polo trying to call out all the different things they own, you go over and sit with the tendril, like just showing it things from your bag, as it does seem to be looking at them. Each thing you bring out, it does seem to inspect, similarly to how it inspected you by lifting it up and turning it around in front of its little head area. Nothing that you do bring out from your inventory, while it is interesting to it at first, and it does seem to look it over, nothing seems to catch its attention for too long. It does seem, as you bring out one of your apples, it does seem to, however, consume it. You note for the first time, looking over at the cocoon-like tendril head of it, it seems to sort of mush it and absorb it into the folds of silk that makes up this tendril. From what you can tell, it did seem to enjoy it.
Are you pleased now?
I'm gonna roll for it. Was that enough? It is a dumb little tendril.
It is a dumb tendril.
It still seems to have some kind of a look about you or a feeling of still wanting something, but it does seem satisfied with the apple.
He's hungry.
As Gorthos, Ronan, and Marco, you guys would be around Argo, aiding him out. Pika and Aga would be in attendance, as well as Clarity and Obra would be watching, because again, magicians of all types know somewhat about different kinds of potion making, and Argo is always the one that just fucking throws off all of their actual understanding of things. It's just like, no guys, we don't have to do random things. We can actually just put things in, and it doesn't have to be monster parts. It could be like plants and other things, and everybody's like, fucking shut up, you little nerds.
We can make vegan potions, guys.
You know, he's saying this when he reaches into Marco's pocket, pulls out the bottle with the toe, dumps it in.
It's keto. It's fine.
As you do put the potion base into the basin will change color. It goes from the clear liquid that was in it before into an almost slightly brownish, slightly like almost like darkish purplish tint. Let me get it just like a little this almost. As it goes over into that sort of a color, it looks to you, if it's bone meal, then we'll have to take some bone.
Yes, we will. Hold on.
Do you wish to try to crack a rib?
He just like tap. He just like thinks about it. It's like, He reaches into the magic bag.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls out the big skull.
Pull out the big skull.
Marco Ronan is the same fucking. He's had it the whole time.
Yeah, you know, we're aware.
He just taps it. This served him for about 15 minutes when he woke up in this era. I think this is magical enough.
It would give me a couple of tries, I think. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Will you be feeding your original Gorthos skull into this?
Much like the secret apple, it's time. It is now.
The funniest thing you could do is each time it has a use, you just take away one of the squares.
Inventory spots.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'm going to give it 4 uses. One for each of the squares and one for itself.
Let's go.
We will see if we can create it. I would like to know, as Argo is doing this, Argo is contributing here. You're contributing the bone. Is anything else going to be contributed to this potion? Do you want to ask anybody?
It for so fucking long.
Do you want to ask anybody to contribute any ingredients? Do you want to try to do anything like that? What are you saying, Marco?
I've had it for so fucking long. I think it's finally time to get rid of the toe.
The toe?
Oh. The Motlin toe.
Motlin toe of destiny.
It is a creature of darkness, and undead are usually attuned to that kind of stuff.
You want to use the flesh of the toe?
Yes. Yeah. I can't think of literally any other reason to use this.
You add the flesh of the toe to the basin.
Yeah.
We go around. Aga does not have anything. However, she will contribute magic with aid to Argo. Clarity, do you still have your... No, they were stolen. Clarity will go into their bag and pull out what remains of their cards. However, she seems very confused, as a lot of them seem to be missing, unfortunately for Clarity. She does, however, have a couple of them. I'm going to roll really quick to see if she has any ingredients that she can use. Yeah. Okay. She seems to pull out what appears to be some Lizalfos teeth, as she seems to add those to the potion. Pika is not a magician. Pika is just dancing in the corner, trying to aid everybody by twerking. I don't know. Obra,
Fantastic.
looking into this, is just gonna watch. They're not gonna add anything. They do eye the frog for a second, though.
Don't. It's fine.
At this point, if nobody else has anything to add to it,
He just he goes to search his pockets. He pulls up the time stone and genuinely considers it for a second. No,
I will use this sacred artifact to put it in there.
not this. He's like, no, not this time.
Can we grind up the Ocarina of Time and put it in there?
Also, there's no token, so I just put it to what I think it is to scale. I don't know.
You know what? Fuck it. I have this other thing I can throw in. Magic
What's
powder.
it? Oh,
There you go.
There you go. Magic powder go in. Yeah.
Just throw some magic powder. It was just regular magic powder, right?
I think it's got question marks on it.
Yeah, okay.
magic powders.
As you sprinkle
Sure.
some magic powder in as well, it is essentially doing what Aga is doing. Aga is providing magic as well. I will say that because of this, we will give it one extra attempt, thanks to the magic powder. As far as the toe is concerned, I'm going to roll really quick. I'd say, yeah, we can give one extra attempt for the toe. And the Lizalfos fangs, we're going to give a roll. We'll give one extra attempt for the top. Let's go. There are 7 attempts.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
fuck yeah, bud.
Not all of these are going to be winners. There are certain numbers that potion making has to hit. We would have got a lot more into this mechanic if Galen ever wanted to potion make. However, let's go ahead.
Hmm.
19. Oh my god.
Tell me it was
Well.
the toe.
As Argo is trying, Argo does not know what this is. Every time Argo attempts to create a potion, he lifts it up into a small vial that he does have on him, and as he inspects it and as you guys look him over, he gives a shake of his head, as in that wasn't enough. He adds it back to the base and he continues. He tries again. He lifts up something. It's not enough. He shakes his head. He puts it in. A couple of hours go by of this. While you guys are aiding Argo with this, Polo, you would find that constant being around this thing for around like an hour or so, of it inspecting the things, eventually inspecting you again, as it's inspecting everything around you. I would like you to roll me for your instinct, please, to see if you understand anything from this creature.
This freaking spaghetti noodle is the most confusing thing ever, and I thought I couldn't understand Orion.
That's a
Nat
natural
20.
20 though.
Let's fucking go.
That's
What does Spagoodle want?
the spagoodle.
Spagoodle.
Well, Spagoodle,
We haven't named it. We have not
as-
named that.
as you are allowing it to inspect all the things you have, and as it does sort of inspect you again, however, as it begins to start inspecting you, you look around and you're like, nope, okay, I'm not letting people look at me while it's happening.
We don't need to go. We don't need to make a display like that again.
You do find that as it inspects you again the second time, after looking at all the things you have, it sort of looks as if it attempts to engulf you. Instead of the tendrils just looking you over and showing you at different angles to it, the tendrils almost seem to wrap you up. I mentioned earlier when you touched it, it felt like the touch of a seemingly sort of like a cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
As it seems to engulf you in these strange folds of the silken nature, you do find that as this happens to you, Polo, you are going to gain bloop, bloop, 2 temporary hearts.
Oh.
It seems to be trying to heal you.
Huh?
It seemed to have noticed earlier that you got hurt, but inspecting you all over, because you got healed without its understanding or knowledge, it could not find where you were hurt.
Oh.
Oh. You're concerned.
As such, it has given you a bit of extra vitality by seemingly encasing you in a cocoon. You feel the tendrils that make up the silken wrappings of this thing seem to, for a moment, soothe you and then allow you out of itself, as if you come out of it slightly shinier, slightly cleaner than you went in before. As this happens, you also feel, as you step out, you are somewhat hovering as you step out with it. It seems to be almost, again, as what Aga had said to you before, it's almost holding your weight up with its own being. You are slightly hovering above the ground. You're not flying, but you do seem to have, after being engulfed by this creature temporarily, a hover speed.
Oh.
You seem to be able to move up and down your movement, which currently I believe is 4, I think, for you guys. You are able to stand in that. You don't know how long it's going to last. You don't know if you have to be engulfed by it every single time or not, but it does seem to be allowing you a hover speed as well.
Ooh.
It
I
seems
see.
somewhat satisfied with that.
Oh, I see. So you weren't purposefully being disobedient, you were just more concerned about me. I hope I'm correct.
There is a sense of confusion coming from it, but it seems to accept that answer.
I'm going to assume I should be probably coming up with a name for you by now. Well, you're tendrily and you're serpenty-like, but you make silk, and that's not really something snakes do. It's more like a spider. Oh, well, a silken worm. Like a silkworm. Those become moths, though, and you don't seem to have moth-like properties. We will be working on this, okay?
It seems to, as you say this, it seems to have its head-like little bulge does seem to go over to you like it did before when it was pointing you off to things. It does seem to, for a moment, bring its head over to your chin again, sort of resting it there instead of turning it, and then moving it away as if, sure, it accepts that.
Yes.
It seems very much almost like a dog or something. It seems to be attempting to communicate through touch. It doesn't seem to understand you have a mental link.
Yeah, she's gonna give it like a little pet and like a bit of a nuzzle while it was on her cheek.
Yes, don't worry. I won't be referring to you as an it for a while. Afterwards. Just a little longer, okay?
It seems to have an understanding about it. As you go to move away from it for a second, you feel your feet not going anywhere. As you look down, it's like, all right, I'm floating. And then you sort of float around a little bit. It's a little bit weird to get the hang of, but you do feel as if you are able to, after, again, a little bit of time with it, you do feel like you are able to get the hang of floating with it. The effect of the hover seems to go away after an hour.
Oh, this will take some getting used to.
Plop. 1 hour later, plop.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is around this time, Argo would look to the base. If this one doesn't work, we might have to go and collect some more ingredients. I'm sorry, Gorthos, but we may have to ask for more bone. As he says that, he lifts up a vial of the liquid. It seems to be much darker in color, and there seems to be a grainy texture seemingly swimming in it. A potion.
Oh, was that the
Did
one?
it work?
The others were just potion based, but this one seems to have an effect on it. It appears to be a healing potion, though I don't know entirely. Aga looks over at him just again with like a look of really. It's like, you can even tell what kind of potion it is.
Ah.
Kakiri magic.
He's like,
Amazing.
Blah.
And this is the bone meal potion, then?
I don't know. It was made with your bone meal, and it is a potion of healing, so I can only assume that it's what we were looking for.
How much time has passed?
It's been about an hour or two, closer to 2 hours than 1. So you have about 4 hours left.
Well, we have to give it a chance, don't we?
I'm sorry
there
if this
enough-
isn't what I assume it is, but it should be enough.
For both of them?
Most potions, at least of this variety, he holds up the canister, which again, to you guys is like a vial, to him is like an actual just potion bottle. It should be 2 uses.
Well, all right then.
It's right.
I'm sorry if it doesn't work. He hands it over to you. We'll still have the base either way.
You
Interest
need
is
not
still-
apologize for anything.
I would like to, if this does work, I would like to add this base to mine back in the woods if you'd let me.
He just shrugs. Yes, he has no need to hoard such things.
As you obtain the
Let's
potion,
find out.
you would make your way over toward where the 2 floating ghosts are. You find that Poma is sort of just looking to the both of them, seeming with a bit of agitation. Does anybody else go with them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I will first drop off this. Is it safe to say that in the hour that she was getting used to her weird hovery, she just gave Riva the silk?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, we'll just
You're just like hovering over. Hey guys.
just slip and slide, just slip and sliding, just like woo, and then just drops off the silk, and it's just like, yeah, I'm still getting used to this, woo, and then everybody's talking about, and then we got the potion. Okay, cool, woo,
And then you kersplat.
yeah, Tokyo Drift.
That is going to take some getting used to.
You'd imagine.
So you have it then? It's rather quick.
You just hold it up. Is this bone meal potion?
I don't know. Potions look different all the time. Just give it to them. If this doesn't
Fantastic.
work, I'd hate to do more drastic measures.
He'll
You
keep that in mind.
bring the potion over to the 2 ghosts. Upon doing
If I
so,
need to be possessed again, I will.
upon doing so, you do find that the both of them, upon having the potion poured onto them, seem to solidify a little bit more. They look as if they have stopped fading away. You hear a bit of a sigh coming from Poma. It is not a sigh of relief. It almost appears to be a sigh of agitation. Whatever.
What?
Congratulations, you stopped it.
You know, I wish I was surprised that you're not pleased.
It's not that I'm not pleased. I'm glad that I didn't have to perform the other measure, but still. It's rather interesting how all of this just seems to come easily for all of you.
It's more of the people that we know, to be honest.
I think it's more luck than easy.
So
No,
you're
it's-
saying that your connections are what gives you your power, your at least ability like this.
Yeah.
No hero stands alone.
Either way,
Besides,
I thank you. It would have been much more. It would have been much harder to give away parts of my own spiritual being to them, especially because I don't even care about them, and I don't want to even worry about it. She starts floating off.
I'm sure you don't.
You say having been near them the entire time.
Thank you for your insights.
Congratulations. If you have not found the bone meal potion within 6 hours, she was going to essentially get rid of herself to keep those two alive.
She doesn't care about them though. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. It's all business. I wouldn't have.
I wanted to die anyway, you see.
I don't. Life is just so fucking out. I don't. No.
I just want a nice door to live in.
I just
And if I
want.
can't have
Give me
that-
my door. As Poma seems to fly up and away, she sort of just goes back around and over toward the area down at the bottom of the cliff area, over in front of the door, and she starts walking back and forth, gathering dust once more to begin to start building up the door. As these two, both Caliburn and the witch that was in charge of the potion stirring, seem to get a little bit of color back to them. As they drift among the area, as they become more solidified, they do land onto the ground somewhat. Do not pass through it, as they are technically spirits, but not actually dead things. They're not actually ghosts. They're more different things. Who cares? You do find that the two of them are in a relaxed state.
Alrighty.
Good.
Oh, we need to figure out if that potion is something we can use a lot, huh?
The Gorthos would like to see the city of the dead. And that's where it all comes from. But yes, it would be invaluable to have for many reasons.
The two of them would be brought over into the area where Riva and the others are in order to be taken care of. You guys, having seen everybody here to a point of understanding, all of them are at least okay from what you can tell. The four of you have gotten them all the help that they needed. As that is being said, however, you guys are now left to your own devices. Everybody is currently healing or gathering things. Mostly, the only thing you guys have to worry about now is that prisoner you have.
Let us decide what to do with them.
Well, I would very much want to stay away from killing them.
I'd rather have the information than not, personally.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And
Gorthos
besides... Oh, no, you first.
Gorthos is not interested in spilling unnecessary blood right now.
As well, if they somehow get in our way again, I feel like that matter will resolve itself in due time.
I'm just a little worried about them trying to attack you guys or give you guys false information. What about those masks of yours? Can they help you?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Didn't that guy's? You said that guy's changed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever my arrow shattered the medallion, it apparently broke it.
I pull out the mask I have. I think it's the red one.
Yep. As you and Marco, because Marco also had one, pull out your mask, you guys find that both of them are gray.
All three of them are gray. Oh no.
Maybe breaking the medallion really did break all of them.
But our other magic items are fine.
Well, I mean, these are probably connected to it, so.
That is somewhat what he did say that in a way. So if that means if ours are broken and theirs are broken, that would probably mean that anybody else containing a similar mask would also be able to find them useless. Or be able, well, we'll find them useless. There we go, that's the proper sentence.
I hope Smith's friend isn't too mad that her mask is broken now.
Son of a bitch! No, I'm playing.
I mean, that was beyond our control. We had no
That was,
idea
yeah. I mean, she's gonna have to deal with it, but
And
still.
we know Sheikah. We can ask.
You guys
if we can
also
get a check.
remember. You guys also remember that Gorthos did gather the pieces of that medallion.
Mm.
If we were somehow,
Porthos.
maybe if we put the medallion back together and somehow make it work, the masks would work again?
Oh, Porthos fully intends to not only fix this, but to improve it and also hand deliver it to the Shadow Temple.
You're gonna go there. What Shadow Temple? We know what you're talking about.
That is a powerful gesture you would be doing there.
I might be able to
Porthos
help with that. But
Porthos has only tried to help everyone he's ever met. The audacity. They act like he's the biggest gossip in the entirety of Hyrule.
I mean, you kind of are.
Anyway, did I tell you about this heroic thing that I found this one?
But that's no, he is not. You should hear full circuit talk.
Nah.
so it sounds like we're agreed then that we want to get the information.
Aster tries to
So-
land on your head. The tendril grabs Aster and consumes them. No, I'm playing.
Oh no, the fairies.
Just a very apathetic, oh no.
Oh no.
Just slurps.
So
And, oh right, he also, I don't know if I actually mentioned this before, Rock and anybody else that had been kidnapped, they were taken to some Donu that they had subjugated, that had gone north. We can only hope that they were stopped at the border, and that
He said
That's the
he
Donu?
said that any of the people that were stolen were most likely stopped at the border, but the
Yeah.
Donu / Dark Nuts that they had brought together were going to the northern cities.
yeah, that.
Darkness amassing up north.
I mean, we're
And-
up north. Is it further north than this north?
Yeah, they were saying they were gonna be stopped at the border of Hyrule, which
Oh, I
means that
see.
they're probably heading off toward the northern cities into Polo's potential area / also the large trade city that's up there.
Mhm.
That could bode ill. Darknuts and Donu are quite different. Culturally, they are quite similar, but it's the devil's in the details, one would say.
Right, I keep forgetting that. They did say Dark Nuts.
It's fine. You weren't around when they still used to be called that.
Mhm.
He's had millennia to get used to it.
Mhm.
But in any case, it still does not bode well. They are exceptionally dangerous, especially in mass. We would equate them to iron knuckles.
Mm.
But if they get stopped at the border, they won't be stopped for long.
It might just be for the best to inquire what they know
Yeah.
and then just give them what they want.
Mm-hmm. We can just treat it as another Sage of the Wild situation.
He is not sure he trusts this traitor Sheikah, but if there is a chance an innocent person would be let free from imprisonment, he has to take the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let's hop to it.
The four of you will bring yourselves to going over toward where Adam has the Sheikah. Adam, upon seeing you guys coming over, he will remove himself from the Sheikah and start making his way over toward the only exit. As if he tries to run, I will get him. As the four of you surround this man, he seems to mostly be staying where he is. He has not been bound in any way yet. He is just sort of standing there looking to each of you.
We came to a unanimous decision that we will let you free in exchange for all the information that you have.
Well, if that is the case, then please ask me whatever it is you wish, and I will tell you everything I can about Master Vati, as well as the rest of the members of our group.
Who is this prisoner you were talking about freeing?
There are technically two, though One of them is a lot more, I guess, abrasive than the other. There is a young woman who was brought in by one of Master Vadi's accomplices. Master Vadi did not seem too interested in them. However, they proved somewhat useful as Master Vadi wanted to have their blood.
Was she a demon?
Eve.
I believe so, yes.
Eve.
They are nice enough. They seem to be in good spirits. And whenever I was watching them a little bit from afar, I had gotten the feeling that they did not need to be there. Master Vati, nor the one that brought her in, seemed to have any use of her. They were just told to never let her free, as they would be coming to get her.
It's not untrue.
As for the other, it is a large Donu, one from the Darknut tribes that seemed to have been a fugitive from them.
Huge.
Apparently, he had taken the armor of one of the Darknuts and wore it of his own. He has seemed to be infiltrating the Darknut camp, and he was beaten to near death. However, we had believed that he would be better alive for us than dead.
Interesting.
I wish to make my way to them to release them, but it is going to be somewhat difficult. They are within a area known as the Great Forge, and if its inhabitants still is going to be there, the only one that they would not ever attack was Master Vati and his group. We were sometimes attacked nonchalantly, as if we were just in the way, as if we were cockroaches or other bugs of ill significance.
This creature, what was it?
A large moblin, larger than I'd ever seen. He was dark. Master Vati, as well as the one who was with him, seemed to think of them as amusing or somewhat of a pet, but all of them would always keep an eye for them, as if they were subservient to it.
The weapon it carries. What does it look like?
That is a hard question to answer.
Does it ever carry a hammer?
It is making weapons. The Moblin, while it is definitely a creature of dark ilk, and it is just as mindless as most of the others, there are times whenever I found it making things. It would be forging. One minute it would be drooling over some kind of a animal or something that was brought to feed it. And another it would be planning. It would be mapping. It would be... And the times I saw it like that, I worried for my life. I worried that if it ever saw that I saw it, no matter how far away from it I would be dead in an instant. That creature is not something any one person can kill. It is far stronger than both Master Vati and his companion. It is as if comparing a dog to a god.
Brothos knows what that thing is.
You remember, Marco, from the creature he was talking about, how whenever you were watching and trying to aid the others in your backstory game, this creature, while it was taking extremely powerful blows, while you had thought that Domran might kill it, after a while it seemed to just get serious. And it seemed to bat Domran away as if he was nothing, leaving him to a point where you believed he was dead.
Yep.
He knows
Beyond
exactly.
a doubt, it is beyond a doubt the strongest being in all of Hyrule. And
I've seen that thing.
there is very little that could even compare to its might.
I've seen that thing for myself. He's not lying.
Northos feels he's also seen that thing in its prime. Different shaped, maybe, but definitely very similar.
If we find it at a time where it's feeding or at a time where it's just enjoying itself, maybe we could even subserve it or get it distracted or something. But if it is in a mood where it is creating or a mood where it is zoned in on something, if we try to interrupt it with anything we have, it would kill us.
Yes, it would. You don't understand how lucky you are, do you?
I do. I am not the first Sheikah in our group to see this creature. I am just one of the only ones that did not fall to it yet. Those of us in the combat troop are seen as expendable. But even us, even the numbers that we had, some of us thought we didn't need to worry too much about it, and it would slay them as easily as it breathed. I do not mourn the loss of Master Vati, for it means I only have to go to that place one final time.
His companion, he wears purple robes.
Yes, though I cannot seem to gather any other information on them. They are almost shrouded every time I see them. They seem to be a regular human, but
They're not.
They are not. They're an ancient stall.
My
So you-
mask, before it stopped working, had always warned me of the dangers of that person.
Hmm?
That person was more dangerous than Master Vati. At least Master Vati needed me. That creature did not seem like it needed me at all. If I were anywhere near it, it would just bat me away. But even that person, I doubt, could even hold a candle to the Moblin.
You described to Gorthos. How to put this? When it was creating things, what was it making?
Weapons, armor. Whenever it would complete something, it would seem almost elated. But then, sometimes as little as a minute or so later, he would toss it aside, as if it wasn't what he wanted. He would toss them down a great chasm. We would retrieve them every now and then to bring parts back for him to use, but he seemed as if he was enjoying himself, trying to make something for himself, but always failing. But he seemed to be living for the failure, as if it would make it all worth it in the end.
You didn't speak this thing, right?
I've never heard it utter a word, though I have heard it laugh. I don't think that it spoke at all whenever I was there, but I do not doubt that it can.
Because we've seen talking moblins and stuff before, haven't we?
They're capable. Sometimes.
Well, I thought it was because they had some like weird water or whatever, right?
Oh, that. Yeah, there's a spring for the Lizalfos that camped up that way, but rarely do they have enough in them.
That
It's
is
by
the spring
design.
that is the spring that Master Vati acquired, correct?
Yes.
the spring outside of the Sun Temple.
Uh,
That is
Yeah, that's-
that is a source of water that we have quite abundance in actually now because of that.
Hmm.
I do not know if it is something that was given to that creature, but it might have been. The only thing that I've ever taken to that creature is blood.
mm,
It
You
uses
took its.
No, we take it blood.
brought
Uh,
blood to it.
It
my
uses
bad, I
it.
misunderstood.
It uses it in its quenching.
Does? Hmm.
It would always take its weapons and quench it in demon blood.
That's. Old smithing.
Hmm.
Very old.
Where is this forge again?
The Great Forge
Yeah.
is to the east of Spectacle Rock. Just
It's
a
cool.
I know,
little
I
ways
know.
away.
I know
Into Death
exactly where the
Mountain.
fuck.
Sorry.
I know where it is.
Okay.
Gorthos is certain he knows where it is too.
That being said, it is not a place you want to go completely unarmed with information or with anything. If you wish to go there, I would say not to go now. You should send someone there to see if that creature is there first. It takes strolls every now and then. It goes to the forest sometimes. Sometimes it goes around Death Mountain. Sometimes it goes as far out as the city atop Spectacle Rock. But it never enters anywhere. It always only travels at night and travels back relatively quickly. I was planning on going in one of those times it took a stroll.
Okay.
The trouble.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to be that person to find out whether it's there or not.
I would, but I do not know how you would trust me.
Trust is a two-way road. We trust that you are not leading us astray, and you trust us to not kill you. Right?
I hope that, yes.
Shifts out of the way.
What is your connection to these people again? Do you just want to free them because it's the right thing to do?
They did not seem needed. They were there out of pure enjoyment of having captives. We did not need more demon blood, nor did we need to torture that Donu. I joined Master Vati as a kid because he was my elder. We listen to our elders, we do as they say, and he had plans to bring glory to us and glory to the mortal goddess. It is all we Sheikah ever wanted to do. But braver Sheikah than I questioned Master Vati of his methods, and they were hardly ever seen again. I am a coward. I am one of the last few that remain by there. One of the few that wanted to do something but was too cowardice to say. Now that Master Vati is gone, I just wish to remove them from his grasp.
Mm.
That is all I wish. It is the only way that I think I can give to my goddess.
You should not be ashamed of your actions. It is not cowardice to try and keep yourself alive. To die needlessly, that's foolish. It will take time, but perhaps one day you will redeem yourself for your actions or inactions. But know this and understand this. Your brethren, they are being led astray by Vati and Aghanim. There are dark powers encroaching on Hyrule, and you've been inadvertently serving them, it seems.
I was serving them of my own accord, yes. It is good of you to say inadvertently, but I just did not wish to question things for too long. And after too long had passed, I learned that I could not question. If I did, I would be gone. Say it as you wish, but to me it will always be cowardice.
You're far less cowardly than those who called you. Take solace in that.
You are...
Even if you're right, the only thing you can do now is be better, right?
You are all very kind. Far too kind to actually be able to handle the darkness of this world.
You'd be surprised how often Gorthos has heard that line and proven it wrong. He's far older than Vati and Agilon.
You have done crazy things to me already. In front of me, around me, things that I've heard of, then if you would trust me, I will keep watch over the Great Forge, and I will send word as quick as I can. I am a Sheikah combatant with a gift from Master Vati. I am a lot swifter than I look. I will be able to get message to you wherever you are in Hyrule.
All right.
Especially with use of this plane that you have.
What is your name, child?
Varos. All of us who was given the gift of Vati took his first name.
That sounds like it'd get confusing.
You'd be surprised. Well,
But
Varos,
you also gave me a thought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gorthos.
Oh, use your thought first. Go.
I was going to say, we should probably see if Argo can maybe tell us if this Vati is still around. Because who knows when he popped up again? You know, he might still be alive, and he might be there, so we might want to get on top of that before it becomes a problem.
Yes.
As long as he is not with his compatriot, he should be easy to find through scrying. I do not know how much power my former master lost whenever you had shattered that medallion over him, but he surely must be weakened.
In depth. To have seen the look on his face when he fell out of the expanse. But he wouldn't have forgiven.
Could I ask for one favor? If I am to be aiding you, would you allow me to discard my garb? And could I ask you for more garments in return?
You wish to separate yourself.
These blood-soaked clothes are not good for any of you to be around.
Blood-soaked?
That's not why they're red, is it?
This was stitched with fabrics that were soaked in demon blood, yes.
Oh, yeah, let's get you some new stuff.
That explains a lot.
Is that why they have that? Why some of them have the odd effect of befriending attackers?
They are rather hard to deal with if you were to touch them with your bare skin, yes. The only ones who seem to be resistant to the effects of these clothes are the Sheikah. They are Sheikah weave, seemingly soaked in demonic blood and essence. Malice personified.
I'm sure we can find you some new clothes. That shouldn't be too much of a problem.
The Orthos might have been foolish to hope that such techniques had been forgotten.
Then I will wait here until you have use of me. And once you plan to leave, which I believe you, if my information from watching all of you was correct, I believe you are planning to make your way to the desert soon.
Yes.
When you do that, I will make my way to the Great Forge.
Okay.
You have explored every corner of the forge before, yes?
Most of them. Anything that was not in the way of the moblin that was there, yes. And any place that I was told not to go near. There are around 3 or so rooms that I was not allowed to go near. I believe one of them is a treasury of sorts where they kept the strongest weapons that the moblin had crafted without returning them to him. Another one was the area where a very apparently important spirit was being held. And the last were the residences of Master Vati and the others.
All doors we must break open violently.
You will find it hard, but not impossible. There are weaknesses even in the strongest of doors.
Of course there are. Rothos built that forge room. Now then, we have some things we need to take care of here as well. A thing.
Wait, there's still one thing. Of their plans that you have heard of, what do you actually know or have overheard? Or maybe they decided to just go on a rant one time.
Master Vati, as well as the spirit that he was chained to, would always speak of reuniting and resurrecting the great demon god. This is great music for this, by the way.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to catch that.
It was wonderful music. Master Vati and his chained pet were always speaking of resurrecting the great demon god through some sort of fusion or something. I do not entirely understand it all too well, but it does not seem to have gone perfectly even before all of you. There is another that they have been after for quite a long time. They've been preparing us to fight against them. They are in the forest.
Fight against? Who?
Some mage who was there, a sage of sorts. I believe they call him the Sage of Dark Magics. We have been tasked to go and gather him, defeat him, and return him to the forge.
Have to drag him back.
Yes.
Why would you have to? Surely. No.
Y'all were not working together the entire time?
That being is strong, but it is trying its very hardest to stay out of our clutches.
Listen. He should be desperate to. You're certain? You're absolutely certain.
We were told that if we were to kill him, it would still be fine to bring him back that way. He is to be captured dead or alive.
There has to be some inherent flaw then. Something wrong. Something we don't know about. Maybe their ritual is wrong. No.
The only problem with going and collecting him currently is his protector. A great winged beast in the forest keeps repelling us.
Oh, that's his? Yeah. Of course that would be his. Why wouldn't he summon a rock? Right over the top as always.
I was also told that he has untold other strange monsters at his beck and call.
Of course he does. That's not surprising.
Fuck.
Both of us knew that these would be difficult endeavors, but still. The fact that he wants nothing to do with Vati and Aghanim's plans. It's different. Strange.
But we were supposed to kill that bird because it's been fucking with the...
It still is.
It still is.
It still is.
Unfortunately, it still is a problem.
It's still a problem on its own.
So, demise doesn't. But how? The demise he knows we always wanted to. He must have been.
I don't know how far we're gonna get about it. Thinking about it here, I feel like we
Just-
still need more information.
That is unfortunately the only thing I know on the subject. The only other person who knows more would have been the thief that came by much earlier in the year.
Thief.
Yes, but I believe that thief is dead now.
Not necessarily a dead end. Where was this thief? Who was this thief?
You call my master's compatriot Aghanim, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was apparently a thief that came in near the end of the last year. When the thief had came down into the forge, they had stolen something from deep within. Aghanim, as you call him, had caught up with him and destroyed him. Sent him to the other world. He had used so much force that it was something that people could even see from the night sky. An explosion of energy.
You say sensitive in the next world, you mean killed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Just wanna be
happened
sure.
the end of last month.
The end of last year.
Last year.
With you and Noah be about 6 months ago. 7, actually, now.
Yeah, 7 months ago.
7 months ago.
You also know of another person Aghanim blew up 7 months ago.
Yup.
Is fully aware.
Who?
Blake.
Oh,
Hosier's brother.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
The one who held the Triforce of Courage.
Courage. Gorthos knows who that thief was now.
What did he take? Was that not known?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm only a combat unit.
It's fine. This is more insight than we've been gathering. It's plenty of insight. Well then, it seems more than ever he needs to be in that forge. And again, he must ask, with what tools is this creature forging anything with?
He seems to have his own set of tools he uses. There is a large forge, big enough for even him, though it is slowly seeming smaller and smaller by the day. But he himself has his own tools. I'm not a blacksmith, I'm sorry. Hammer, tongs.
Was the hammer decorative in any way?
Perhaps. I'm sorry, if you could be more specific, I could maybe let you know.
About these dimensions, perhaps a skeletal motif engraved with different glowing symbols.
It was glowing somewhat, like you said. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm a guy.
I don't know, man. I'm just a guy,
just
man.
a little guy.
I wasn't looking at a hammer. I was looking at him.
Oh no, man, my feet hurt real bad.
Apologies. He's been missing some of his tools, and he thinks it might have fallen into its hands.
If they are great blacksmithing tools, then perhaps it is something he is using. I know that he did not make that forge. That's all I understand. And from what you said, you did. So perhaps it is your tools.
A squatter and a thief. How far it's fallen. Again, you've been more than helpful, Varos. And as such, trust has been earned for now. And trust is given.
We will get you your clothing.
Yeah. We know plenty of clothiers.
I will rest here unless you have somewhere better for me to rest. And again, once you all plan to make your way out, I will make my way there. And I will be able to find you wherever you are within a couple of hours.
Of that, we are completely certain.
I am most likely the fastest Sheikah that remains.
Thank you.
He will put his head down and he will sort of just lean back against the wall here, unless anybody has any other questions for him.
None at the moment from me.
Not from me.
If he was
Nothing
anything
from
but
me.
if he was anything higher than a combatant, then yes, but no.
As Varos seems to place the mask on his face once more, even though it is not giving him any effects or anything, he will wait. You're decently sure that you do not need to guard him, but it is up to you whether or not anybody wants to leave a guard or anything. You're decently sure he will just listen to wherever you tell him to go. He already tried fighting you guys and you shut him down immediately, so he's like, nah.
Marco already showed him that he's the better Sheikah.
He's like, I'm pretty fast, but like I don't know if I can fight you.
He's not Marco fast. Marco has the Master Sword and full health.
Yeah.
Are
Well.
you still holding that, by the way?
I would think he would have probably, if she gave him the sword, it probably had it sheathed, so he's probably like got the sheath on as well.
It does not have the sheath.
Does not have the sheath. Okay, then I guess he's
Have you just been holding that this whole time?
yes.
It's raw dog.
It's, I thought it was supposed to burn anybody who was not the hero.
No, just Gorthos and people of malicious origins.
Oh,
You
It
would
is
be
not
probably
able to
fine
be. It
holding
is not able to be properly wielded by anybody who is not chosen from it.
Yeah.
So, if, for example, Hosier were to pick it up, Hosier could still have a sword, but it wouldn't be the sword of Evil's Bane. It would just be the husk of that sword.
Yeah.
And if the
It's a
sword
very
was still
picky
inside,
thing.
and if the sword was still inside of its pedestal, Hosier could not pull it.
Yeah.
It would kill him.
Yeah.
Well,
Despite his brother being the one that should have pulled him, he does not, in fact, have that power.
it's not hereditary. No. We have all been. That is an interesting conundrum we have there. Well, that and the vault is open, and quite a few other things, but we are all badly hurt, aren't we?
no, I'm actually quite fine. Overhealed,
Oh.
in fact.
Orthos is extremely badly hurt.
As you say, Gorthos is extremely badly hurt. Polo,
Yeah.
you feel your shadow stretching.
This won't hurt, Gorthos. Just let it happen, okay?
What's gonna happen?
Gorthos, you feel as you say what's gonna happen, a tendril attach itself to your arm.
Uh-oh.
Another. Another.
If Gorthos gets eaten, he will be quite upset.
No, you
As-
will not be eaten.
As Gorthos, you are completely inspected and wrapped up along with a lot of dark silken tendrils. As you do, all of you watch on as in horror as Gorthos is completely vored in front of you.
Not
I
another boring
just
session.
have the Prince of Spiders in fucking
Yeah.
noodle form. Only me and Deco know the Prince of Spiders.
That's fine.
Shall we have probably moved away from this man?
Oh yeah,
while this is happening?
I was assuming we have moved, we just haven't physically moved our token.
Varos watches in horror as Gorthos is engulfed.
No, let him watch. He doesn't want to piss us off. You don't want to piss us off.
We have a new pet.
Gorthos,
Yeah.
give yourself back 2 hearts.
Oh, neat.
Oh, hell yeah.
You are brought into a cocoon. You are not overhealed. You do feel as if you stay in this cocoon, it will most likely heal you to full.
Well,
It is currently just squirming and moving all around you. Basically, you always feel the tendrils moving all over you.
Orthos still doesn't know how to identify the creature.
I am. Right now, I am partial to the name of Ophi. Ophiuchus seems rather too long.
Ophiuchus.
As the constellation of the Serpent Bearer.
It'll be very funny if this thing turns out to not be serpentine in any way.
Can you do me
Well,
a
I
favor, Anthony?
What's up?
Can you cover your mouth as you say that?
no. Orthos can't be muffled because no, that doesn't how it works. Remember, we've established that.
Well, that's the thing. It's not quite serpentine, so I thought that Ophi would at least be a good vestige.
Ophi.
Do you
Dumb
actually
Tish.
do you actually?
What dumb
you want,
Tish?
you want me to actually cover my mouth? Because I'll do it.
No, you don't have to. I'm playing around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But they seem...
As Ophi is stringing you up. Sorry, I didn't mean
It's
to
so
interrupt you,
silicon.
Squeaky.
No, just... Ophiuchus doesn't seem to fit, and Ophiuchi is still too long, so let's go with Ophi.
I'm going to
Ophi.
say that as you are wrapped up along this creature, eventually you are healed to full. Anybody
Wow.
else who wishes to be wrapped up in the sweet embrace of this creature would do so. Ronan, it would be slithering over to you after it spits out Gorthos.
It's just a silkworm hydra.
Oh no! Oh
It takes you in.
Hang on. Z would not, in fact, allow that to happen to him.
Yeah, I can't be Z right now.
Orthos feels like if he had skin, it would be silky smooth.
Yeah, your bones are fucking shining. But as this is happening to Ronan, as it's happening like in the background shot of like everything, I want to have this be the end of the game.
Okay.
As
How dare you?
Gorthos,
So
as in the background of everything, you are walking away from the others, Ronan being strung up and covered in his silken cocoon, fighting against it, but eventually losing because everyone's telling him to stop.
I'm guessing Oberg is over there laughing.
You make your way into a room beyond this area. You are heading over toward what has been told of you as a treasury.
I love this music for my treasury. It's great. Very smaugy.
Upon you stepping into it, fine, we'll go with this. Upon you
Okay,
stepping
fine.
into it, you would find that the treasury of this area is not amazingly impressive. You see a large amount of chests and what appears to be boxes and things all around. But as you step forward, you get a strange feeling from them. As you look around at all the chests and all the things in the room, your eyes land on a wardrobe. One that you know is special. You didn't make that wardrobe, though. That was made by a companion of yours. A carpenter that you had long, long ago. It seems refurbished. The last time you remember seeing them was during that large gathering of heroes 1,000 years ago. You check out the wardrobe and then you look over to a box next to it. You open the box and you find it is full of pictographs. Pictures from a pictograph. You see pictures of you and pictures of some other people. However, pictographs haven't been around for a long time. As you look through them, you see people that you've long forgotten. Not forgotten in a big sense, but at least forgotten until recently. You see faces. The pictographs themselves seem like they are somewhat aged, but refurbished at least to an extent. You open another chest, you find clothing, finery, things that some of them you remember wearing. Large robes that would even fit a large demonic body. You look in another chest, you find different bits of again, more fabrics and pictures, and eventually you find paintings. Things that bring back a feeling of nostalgia. You remember traveling with a painter before? No. You look all around the room, to every inch of everything. You throw open the boxes, you check the wardrobes, you check different things, and you find antiques. A long list of pictures and framings and clothing and fineries, and you know every one of them. You recognize every piece of armor, every picture. These are all keepsakes of not only the 4 riders from before, but the 100 heroes that came to aid you during that fight. And even before, heroes that you traveled with throughout your entire life. This treasury does not appear to be a treasury of gold, of strength, but memory. As you look through everything, as you see the last showings of all these people, these are all the people who have been touched by Gorthos. All the people who traveled with Gorthos. All the people who have helped Gorthos. All of the riders. Every last one. A piece of their history.
Unbelievable. To all these years. No wonder it was sealed away. In this vault, all these mementos and memories and all of that, you said every single person.
When I
who's
say
ever-
every single person, I know where your train of thought is going to. As you look around at everything, feeling excited, throwing open the wardrobe, seeing everything, you turn, and inside the first wardrobe you had saw, the one that was made by that carpenter, you think to yourself. You look to it, and as you open it up, you see what appears to be a set of a dress of sort. Not an actual dress, but a tunic. Fashioned in green. Leather binding certain parts of it. And a nice long cap held at the top. You see the armor and clothing, or at least a replica, from somebody who would have seen it themselves, of the first hero.
He just like gently puts a hand on that. It's all here. Every last one. I wonder if they'll want this outfit back. once we get them out of the ice. He wonders for a minute. Is there a replica? There's a replica of Link's old attire.
Mhm.
Is there one of Zelda's old attire?
Yeah. Everyone who has ever aided you, been around you, been aided by you, in one of the wardrobes, you also find the original, or at least again, a replica of it, of the garb worn by the mortal goddess before she had ascended.
Oh, the stories he can share now. And the proof.
As you are about to get lost into the memory, you hear in the background a yell from Marco as he tries to avoid the creature voring him.
Yes.
No! I wasn't hurt! I'm contemplating tough emotions. Leave me alone!
Just let it happen, Marco. Just let it happen.
Oh, please!
Hearing all that, Gorthos looks around, like closes the wardrobes and all, and moves some stuff around to clear out a little section of this vault, in anticipation of new mementos that he's going to put in there once this is all over.
Whenever all this is over and we can all just have a good time and live our lives like we all never got to.
We live our lives together in peace after fighting this war. We come back to fulfill our desires, filling out our memories. Flag here, flag there. Everyone gets a death flag.
Now, what is a really embarrassing trinket that is innocuous but would make Ivari upset if it was brought out?
Oh, I mean, you could bring out a trinket of one of the heroes that they had a fancy for several thousand years ago.
Yes. What is the most durable and it will be unlikely to be destroyed instantaneously?
You grab a portrait of one of the great hero of the Rito, a rather dashing brown feathered hero who was wondrous with a lute in hand and a rapier in the other.
Oh my god, what a fucking...
It was a crush!
Just like, oh, you're coming out for a little bit.
He brings the loot as well.
You hear malicious laughter coming from the vault direction as you hear as the vault door is slamming shut.
As they do, I feel like that's a good point for us to end things off for tonight.
Hell yeah.
As Gorthos, you have found the Vault of Heroes that was hidden from you all of this time, as Ivari has gathered all of these things to make ready for the time that she knew was coming, your final life. She has been gathering these for literally probably thousands of years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What a mistake that was.
With all that being said, we're going to end the recording here. Hope everybody had a good time. We have a lot of things at the end of this to go over. I'm heading off to the desert, eventually heading off into the the Spectacle Rock dungeon, and probably off to that Great Forge at some point. You guys now knowing more of the creature that dwells within, upon having a person who is very intimately seeing all of the things that happened there. As you guys have gained new information, new ability, and new understanding, we will end things off. Hope you guys understand. Next time, like always, later days.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Ah.